Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes. And before we actually get started here, I need to bring out a special guest, a voice that has not been heard on YouTube for over 2.5 years.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, how the hell are you?
We have Sloth Girl live.
It's awesome.
I got my headphones in the mail today.
Yay.
Ooh,
Yay.
nice.
I'm so glad I came to the stream.
Well, we're always glad to have you.
That's a fact.
So anyway, today is National Potato Day, which I know is a repeat, but it held the record for the one that we stayed on topic the longest. That usually we lose the topic 3 minutes into the show. Last time we did Potato Day, we stayed on for 40 minutes on different ways to cook potatoes.
Wow.
So it's like nothing else was even close.
Well, when it comes to car mechanics, I can count a potato.
Yeah, there you go.
I used to drive a Harley. They go potato, potato, potato.
Potato, 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 potato. They do.
You know, that's actually that's an artificially engineered sound.
Not in a Harley, it's not.
No.
In a Yamaha,
It isn't.
they program it to be that way. But a Harley invented that sound because the V-twin with a lumpy ass cam. We have always sounded that way.
Yep, Harley got it.
It's still deliberately engineered to sound that way, which is what I think she meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's a V-twin engine, and it's that's a characteristic of a V-twin engine.
Oh, and in the side chat we have Alias Fake Name.
Alias.
Dude.
How are you? Oh, so we were talking about planting potatoes. I wanted to tell you how my friends used to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so they would make a mound of hay with a little bit of dirt and stuff mixed in, stick the potatoes in it.
Yeah, I know about that.
Not on the
one.
ground, but in a mound. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really good way to grow them. And they're so easy to harvest because you don't have to plow them up. You just reach into the pile and find some potatoes and pull them out, like literally.
Yeah,
that's how it is.
Yeah, the straw and stuff is acting like the soil that you'd normally put on top of it.
Right, correct. Yeah. So they just mixed dirt with some straw for the base and then straw on top and then just they put the potatoes in there on top of the dirt and just covered them up with the straw. And you just reach in and I thought she was bullshitting me. And she goes, "We're going to go over to this house for a party. You want to come?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah." She said, we're going to harvest some potatoes. And I was like, "I'm not plowing anything." She's like, "We don't do that. Let me show you." Yeah, it was a really cool setup.
It's the light that really causes them to go green, and be a problem. So having all that hay and stuff keeps that from happening.
Exactly, it creates that same effect.
There's a growing technique that's called hay bale gardening, where you just take a bale of hay, however many of them that you want, and just lay it on the ground. It doesn't have to be on dirt; it can be on concrete if you want. And you cut a little hole into the hay, and you toss a little dirt and a little Miracle Grow fertilizer in there, and then you put your potato plant in there and walk away for the next couple months, and you come back and all the potatoes are inside the hay bale, and you just break it apart, and there's your potatoes, and then you use what's left of the hay bale for mulch.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely, you can mulch with it. Yep.
Yeah, this method works best with determinate potatoes. That's
with
basically determinate potatoes. There's basically two different types. There's determinate and indeterminate. The determinate basically grow on all one level, whereas the indeterminate are the ones that you usually would mound up.
Oh.
Because they grow on multiple levels.
Right. Yeah, they're probably the determinate then.
Yep.
Yeah, I would agree.
Well, where we lived in Michigan, the potatoes were the only thing that grew locally, and thus they were the only thing that was actually cheap to buy. That, the gas station sold 10-pound bags of potatoes for $3.
Yeah, it's like everywhere. It's like when you're in a corn and soybean region, you can go into a convenience store and there's like a bushel of corn there. You know, like it's
Yep.
cheap. It's dirt cheap to them. Yeah.
And anyone over in Europe, they call it something. They don't call it determinate and indeterminate. They call it something else. I don't remember the terms though.
You know more than I do, but I don't know.
Pennsylvania grows the most potatoes, or did.
Really?
Really? I could see that.
That's because Pennsylvania makes the most potato chips, or did.
Yeah, because they had what, hers and Utz and
Middlesworth.
yeah, there's another one. There's like 4 or 5 big chip companies in PA. You're right.
Gibbles.
Was Smith?
Some of them are local to Pennsylvania, but
Mm.
what's used to be, but they've become national.
Hi, Jen.
Hi.
I think partly because if you ever see a Netflix show and look what they're snacking on, almost always it's an Utz product.
Yep. My my one time of being married, I was married to someone whose last name was UTZ, and they pronounced it Utz, and very German
Oot,
and
oot,
Utz, UTZ, yeah, Utz,
oot, oot, oot.
Unz. You know what I was gonna do, Sloth? You'll appreciate this. I was gonna have a license plate made that said 2 Utes, like my cousin Vinny,
Yeah.
right? 2 Utes.
Yeah, you do you. What the hell's a
Because it was
Ute?
right around that time when that movie came out. What the hell's a Utes? Youths. Yeah, it was a big joke. His dad used to go to the bank and they would tease him and say, "When are you going to bring some chips for us, Mr. Utes?" And so finally he went down to fucking Sam's Club and he bought like a big bag of each kind and stuffed it into a box and walked in the bank on Friday to do his business and just set it on the counter and said, "There, we're done," right? And they were like, "Yes, sir, we'll never ask again."
Oh,
So funny. Cat's here too. Nice. Oh, I have a funny story, Perps. Me and my ex were driving down the road and we're going from Ohio into Indiana. And we're in Indiana and it's just corn. And I'm like, all I see is corn. Look, there's more corn. Wait, there's more corn. Oh, wait, there's some potatoes. Oh, there's some more corn. There's potatoes in the corn. Now we have porn. What the hell are we going to do now, Indiana?
Where did you see potatoes in Indiana?
I can't do anything. I'm so used to blocking people.
Yeah, something I was thinking about trying with potatoes is, well, since you have usually would mound up some of the types of potatoes. Usually, what you do is you like fill up a grow bag with maybe about halfway or so. And you put your potatoes there, and then as it grows, then you fill it up in more. What I was thinking is maybe you just plant the potato all the way down, just cover it all the way up, and then see if I can get it to grow out that way. That way, I won't have to mound it at all.
Yeah, you might be able to. Yeah. Be
yeah,
worth a
yeah,
shot.
really grew
It's just a
potato
question of what. Yes, it's a question of whether you'll be able to grow through that much soil.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
know
I mean, I don't
you can't-
know. I've never experimented with anything like that.
Did you know you can't use potatoes to power most computers?
Well, that's ridiculous. Why can't you? It'll power a light bulb.
Actually, there was a note on Twitter that Stool can't join us because his potato is broken.
Cat, that's awesome.
Tell him to stop mashing it.
See, if Stool was here and he'd be streaming his potato, then yeah, this whole stream would be pretty much on topic if he had his potato up.
Right.
Yep.
Boy, Sloth Girl, you're just a chip off the old block, aren't you?
I wish I was baked.
Oh my God. Potato
Okay.
jokes.
Hey, Ox. And yeah,
I got my
Cat
eye
usually
on
doesn't
you.
watch us live, but he always watches it afterwards and usually leaves comments summarizing the whole show.
I'm gonna have to mute myself. If Slothgore keeps putting her funny, hilarious ass jokes in the chat, I'm not gonna make it.
Who's the baddest potato in the universe?
Oh no.
Darth
don't know.
Tater. They actually made a Mr. Potato Head that was a Darth Tater. He had the hood and everything.
Yep.
It was fucking hilarious.
I remember that.
Yep, I
Darth
remember seeing that in
Tater.
the stores.
That's fucking awesome. I didn't
It
even know
was
that
Darth
existed.
Tater. He was freaking awesome. Yes, I've been researching potato jokes all afternoon. So
Oh boy, we're in trouble.
Wait,
Just
wait,
for the sake of the show.
we need a Star Trek version of Mr. Potato Head now. I mean, Mr. Potato Spock would be only logical.
Mr. Potato Spock. It's really the
everyone's
next step.
Spock and potato.
Well, would it include Data's pet Spud?
Huh?
No. Instead of
No.
Spud.
No. Wah wah.
Yeah,
Damn it.
Oh, they did make a Star Trek like Mr. Potato Head.
Which one?
Looks like a TOS this thing.
I hope he doesn't have a red shirt on.
Ugh. No reds
Oh,
allowed.
that would be bad if it was a red skin potato. Yes. Okay. Here's a
Wait a
couple
minute.
of.
What
Couple
position
of
does it play
memes.
on the team? It's part of the Redskins, right?
Oh,
It plays it
I
plays
tried.
mashed. I'm sorry.
Suicide is painless.
yeah.
Sometimes.
Oh my god.
So we got a
So-
couple of visual ones that Sloth Girl had sent me earlier.
Go for
What's the difference between a baby and a baked potato?
Don't know.
About 140 calories.
You should just show him.
Yeah, isn't
That's
it showing
totally
up?
an atheist joke.
No,
It should be.
No,
not shown on the
nothing's-
screen.
Nothing's
Huh.
showing, honey.
It says I'm sharing the screen.
It's lying.
well,
to you.
it's lying to you.
Yeah,
See?
let's try that again.
That's how I know I'm right. She agrees.
Good news is, as someone who doesn't identify as an atheist, none of those jokes apply to me.
I mean, they're still some of them are kind of funny. There was, for a long time, there was a string of dead baby jokes that people told for like 10 years. So
Yeah.
It's a lot of dead
comparing it to
babies.
potato is not as bad as that.
No.
How were spuds punished in
Oh.
the medieval days? They were decapitated.
Oh.
Cat potato.
Okay,
Oh.
there we go. I got it cooperating, so it's showing stuff now.
There you go.
Okay.
Good job.
Okay, did that one. Next one. Why did I win the potato hiding contest?
Oh.
It didn't,
Go ahead, Sloth. You give the punchline.
because my carbohydrate is so good.
Sorry. I gotta mute myself.
Oh, Saskia.
What's the difference between a cooked sweet potato and a flying pig?
Because one's a heated yam and the other's a yeeted ham.
Boom.
Hmm.
Okay.
So, what can you do with potatoes? You can mash them, cook them, put them in a stew.
You can bake them, you can fry them, you can.
You can
Yeah,
dry
do
them
the
You
out.
got-
Forrest Gump there.
You got fried taters. You got tater wedges, taters that are made into French fries. You got
Tater tots.
sauteed taters. You got
Tater
baked
chip.
taters. You got roasted taters.
You got taters and sausage.
Got taters growing in your ear.
Tater salad.
Tater
Mashed taters.
salad.
If you're a hobbit, you can use them to ruin a perfectly good rabbit.
Stuffing in tailpipes.
Yes. I mean, no.
You can't use them for that. You shouldn't. And you can build clocks with them.
Used as a starfish.
Clocks?
Build clocks with them.
I'm sure everyone remembers in the 80s you could always buy potato clocks.
Oh, yes.
No.
Yeah, a potato
Everybody
will
just remember-
generate enough electricity to power a digital clock.
Yeah, so just
all right.
remember when the zombie apocalypse happens, everybody, buy a lot of potatoes. You can also
Potato
use them for a
battery.
light source. Just saying.
Yeah, because
Potato
you'll
battery.
need a good alarm clock so that you can wake up before the zombies arrive, right?
Yes, yes.
Can we make potatoes bioluminescent?
You need light. Can you make potatoes what?
Bioluminescent.
Well, we could with genetics.
I mean, we can make tobacco bioluminescent.
No, well, touche. You
Shouldn't be too
know
hard.
something I don't know.
But-
Bioluminescent is just,
Go on.
it's just a fancy word meaning biologically generated light.
and it's a very common
Did not know that.
technique all over biology to make things glow so they can see if genes have actually been successfully inserted, etc.
And there's a naturally occurring fungus that glows in the dark, or looks like it glows in the dark that's bioluminescent.
Interesting.
Yeah, and there are a number of deep sea creatures that have a bit of it. Most famously,
yeah.
the lanternfish.
Yep. Is that the one that brings them in with the little thing in front of their head?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's the
Yeah.
really ugly one with the thing dangling off of his forehead.
Yeah, that one.
Only way you can get a girl to pay attention to them. Leave
Well,
his little
apparently they
dangly
are
out.
looking into developing bioluminescent potatoes, or fluorescent potatoes here.
Now, why would they want to do that?
Why?
Something about soil, or let's see what it's
Wait. You
Oh.
need a
shortage.
A lot of the deep sea jellyfish are also bioluminescent.
In fact, that's where they're taking the
Yes.
genes from. Scientists claim it could save agriculture costs and tackle dire water shortage problems in the future. I'm not exactly sure how.
Yep. Did you
Well-
know that a platypus will also glow under a UV light?
Seriously?
Under a UV light, a platypus will glow blue.
Uh-huh.
Like
That's so cool.
Scorpions glow under
Scorpions.
black light too.
Yes.
That's so cool.
I didn't
And,
know that about platypi.
Yeah, like
And
you
rock-
didn't think they were weird enough already.
Okay.
And
I just-
lights glow.
I just love like the British Royal Society when they got platypus the first couple of times. They're like, "Stop sending us this joke."
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like the meme you've already seen.
Well, like I
You
said, I
ever
had
wonder what the creator was smoking? You know, end of the day, it's like we got all these parts left over. Let's just shove them all together and see what happens.
The platypus was made at 5 o'clock because at 4:20 he was testing marijuana.
Yeah, there you go.
I
God
was just
creates-
working on that.
God creates the naked mole rat. Put teeth on an old man's penis.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
That's right.
But the weird thing is, 420 didn't refer to when you lit up. The 420 special was for when you got the munchies.
Really?
Now I've heard different
get high before-
legends about where it came from, but the one that seemed to be the most accepted was it was because the class would get out at 4:15 and they would meet behind the university at 4:30 at 4:20.
I thought it had something to do with Jamaican pot smoking guy from way back when.
Cheech and Chong?
Bob Marley.
No, I said Jamaican,
Bob
Marley.
Marley.
not Hispanic and white.
Yep.
No, I can't remember.
The other one I heard. The other one I heard was they would light up at 4, so they got the munchies by 4:20, and they'd butt into like the restaurants in like UC Berkeley. So they noticed this trend, so they started having 4:20 specials.
Why
Okay.
not?
I don't know.
No, that
Could
Could be
that could
lost to
be.
the
Like I
mist of
say,
time.
I've heard several different legends about it, and no one yet seems to really be able to say for certain which one is true.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we call them legends, right?
Hey,
Both
at least
seem-
with my diagnosis, I can do it legally now.
Supply a diagnosis for
Well,
what?
no, you still need a note from your doctor first.
Right.
Marijuana in Minnesota is only available by prescription.
Listen, I'm sure Indiana will legalize marijuana probably about 3 centuries from now.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
actually surprised that Minnesota hasn't done it yet. I would have thought it would have been like one of the first 5 states, but
Oh, we don't even allow medical marijuana.
We get medical marijuana here at least.
Yeah.
There's no legal marijuana in Australia except perhaps in specified drug trials.
You can get CBD oil, you just can't get marijuana.
yeah, well that's here.
Can
We
we?
can get CBD oil, we can't get anything that's got THC, or we couldn't. And it was just like a couple of months ago they passed a thing that legalized the Delta 9, which apparently has some THC in it. Are you stuck?
Yeah.
A lot of states are doing it just to try to curb the opiate problem. But
Yeah, there are a lot of rehab places that use marijuana to get people off of like heroin and shit. I guess it helps them. I don't know. I'm not sure how. Maybe the anti-nausea or something. I don't know.
Well, that'll be for me with the chemotherapy. I'll be using it for anti-nausea.
Yeah, exactly.
It's also good pain medication and works.
Yeah,
for
will help with
depression.
pain.
I mean, THC does amazing things for your body. Like it really does. And for any state to say you shouldn't have it is just, plus it's stupid because if you sell it, now medically you can't, I don't know about everywhere else. They don't tax us medically here for medical, but the recreational that just became recreational in April for the first time ever. They're starting out with a 21% tax. And when it's all said and done, it'll be around 34%. And people are paying that shit.
Sure.
It's good fucking pot. The street pot sucks. And the states are making bank. I go to Colorado all the time, Perps, and they're always fixing the roads there. Like these roads are old and beat up, and now they have brand new bridges, they're fixing their entire infrastructure because they make so much money off of marijuana.
Yeah,
they have money coming out their asses.
Yep, 2 years after they legalized it, Colorado was looking for projects to throw the money at because the revenue turned out to be 8 times what they projected.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You know where people in the northern New Mexico get their pot? We drive to Colorado. Well, now it's recreational here. We don't have to, but that's what we did before. 3-hour drive up north, get it dirt fucking cheap and way better than the shit on the streets.
Well,
cheaper than the streets and better.
Isn't that illegal though?
What?
Crossing
yeah,
state
it absolutely
Yeah.
is.
Transporting across state lines is a federal offense yet.
Yeah, you watch your ass when you do it.
You just don't have to get caught.
Well, but the thing is there's so many people with New Mexico plates that go into Denver and stuff for business and vacations and all this. They don't know who to pull aside.
And you just drive like an old lady going to church on Sunday.
3 miles per hour over the speed limit is what I do.
Yeah.
Because everybody speeds. If you go under the speed limit, they're going to go, what the fuck? So, but if you go more than 5, you'll get pulled over. 3's a happy medium. I'm speeding a little bit, but I'm really safe. So I don't want to stick out in the crowd.
Isn't New Mexico like a bastion of sanity and like a sea of red, though?
No, it's not red here. You'd think it would
New Mexico isn't, but Arizona most definitely is.
Oh, Arizona, absolutely. That's a whole different state. Because, see, now, if you're talking about, like, southern New Mexico and Albuquerque and shit, that's a whole different world from where I live. I live outside of Santa Fe. And Santa Fe is, like, chilled and diverse. And I always say the town motto should be, just don't be a dick. They just don't care as long as you're not an asshole. Nobody cares what your color is, what your hairdo's like, what you're wearing, if you're trans or gay or straight or homeless or As long as you're not an asshole or a thief or anything, they just don't care. They don't bother anybody here.
Sounds pretty progressive.
It's fucking amazing. I tell everybody I know that is in a bad state, in a bad area, like, just move up here, man. It's so, like, just nobody cares. And the thing is that there are so many artists here because Santa Fe is the third largest art producer in the United States.
Mhm.
I think New York and LA are the other two, or New York and Chicago, something like that. But we are the third largest. So there are so many, like, artists that are eclectic and stuff, and they're really weird and strange, and they dress weird. But the thing is nobody knows who the artists are. So you don't treat somebody like shit, because that motherfucker could own the building you're working in, and he walks in with a raggedy pair of shorts and a t-shirt, because that's just how people are here. They're really casual. Unless they're at work, they're very casual. You just never know. Like, a star will walk right by you, and you just don't have a fucking clue that it happened.
Nice
That
one.
is exactly why, right there. No, I'm kidding. No, it's just chill. I love it. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I came out as being trans. I told everybody. I told patients. I had one patient when they said, "Why is your name changed?" Everybody always called you B. I said, because I'm trans, and they paused for like a second and a half. And then they said, "You know what? Good for you. Live your life the way you want. Whatever makes you happy, sweetheart." I said, "Thank you." No one else ever paused. One old lady, she was like 88 years old, and she was hilarious. But I kind of shocked her. You know, I think she thought I was already a guy, is why.
Oh, put the paddles away.
What?
Put the paddles away, then you can't shock her.
Oh,
Flirt.
Unplug that fucking machine, sloth girl.
Well, I always tell my kids when I die, if I'm on life support, unplug it and plug it back in. You never know.
listen, if I'm anywhere near there, you know I'll be trying to install Linux on it.
No.
Star Trek.
Yeah. My kids will pull the plug just so they can charge their phones.
So is their favorite movie Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. I've heard some of them like Starch and Order.
Oh, don't make me give you your starching orders, my friend.
It stars Luke Skywalker.
What do you?
Old Yukon Jack.
Why is he that gullible?
Brand. No, I don't know. It's just a brand of potato. It's the only thing I could think of. I ran out of sarcasm.
Yep.
Sarcasm is a renewable resource. You shouldn't run out.
No, just potato sarcasm. I'm sorry, I did not specify.
Ah.
I'm out of potato jokes.
I'm not.
I don't have to work tomorrow, so I'm pouring this in my Coca-Cola. Has anybody ever tried poured crown apple in Coca-Cola?
No.
It's fucking delicious.
I don't think my employer would appreciate it if I did it for tomorrow.
It's no, not you. No, don't do this. Only people that don't have to work tomorrow. So I used to drink this all the time, and I was like, I need a chaser. And I was coming home from work, and I just grabbed a Coke out of the fridge at the fucking convenience store. And then I got home, and I thought, what the fuck am I doing? That's going to be horrible together. But really, the Coke doesn't change the flavor of the crown apple very much. It just kind of makes it a little sweeter and kind of takes off the edge. But it just tastes like crown apple. Really? Crown apple with Coke? Nobody has ever done that I know of. Except for you.
Have to try it sometime.
Oh, speaking of that, Maya, how you doing, beautiful? No, I'm kidding. If I don't flirt with her once a month, she gets upset.
I've been trying out Opera for the day. That's what I'm running right now.
It's just
Oh, the
Google with a
browser.
built-in VPN.
What was
Or
that?
not Google. It's just Chrome with a built-in VPN now.
Yeah, I'm noticing it. I'm not seeing too much difference between Chrome, other than a few bells and whistles. They're different, a bit different layout.
For a second, I thought you was talking about trying out singing opera.
No,
Actually, for the past week, since I've need to finish these up and probably should be doing other things, I've read a book called Algorithms of Oppression, and the latest one I've been reading is The Googleization of Everything, and why we should
Ah,
And why what?
and why we should worry.
Ah.
do you agree
You've
or
read that
disagree
one?
with it?
These are things I already realized were problems with Google
Oh.
or with algorithms in general. I don't agree with all of their points, and I think the one writing about how Google reinforces racism is noticing the same problem I noticed when Google was trying to.
Hi, Aunt Jer.
With Google Google's the filter bubbles it creates for each of us
Oh. Okay.
that can trap us in our own echo chambers.
I'd
Yeah.
rather have
All the
the
social
ability.
media does.
I'd rather have the ability to turn that on and off as I desire.
You can opt out of all the data collection, but it's very hard to do when you don't get as good results on Google.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. We should be able to just have a little switch that says turn it on and off.
You can just use incognito mode, can't you?
If you log in, it doesn't really do any good.
Yeah, assuming you're logged out.
I was just reading that.
Yes,
Aunt Jer, if I was on screen, I'd break everybody's TV.
So,
Oh, you better hush your mouth.
Yeah, she's cute.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
a swamp hag.
who has the best fries? I'm gonna go with Arby's.
Yes,
Culver.
I agree.
No, Arby's is disqualified since they discontinued the potato cakes.
Yeah.
Culver's.
Curly fries aren't good
Culver's,
enough.
really?
Their curly fries are decent.
I like Wendy's
Hardee's.
fries.
Hardee's has a good curly fry.
Now, Carl's Jr. / Hardee's crisp cut fries, waffle fries, those are fucking good.
Oh, yeah.
Going a little bit
They're
more
nice
traditional.
and thick. They're crisp. They're soft in the middle. They're just perfect.
If you're going a little bit
Red
more
Robin
traditional,
has a
try-
ringer advantage because it's unlimited fries.
Try
Yeah,
the Checkers
Their
fries.
steak fry. Yeah.
That's one place I haven't gone to in a while.
Oh.
Definitely got to go because of, say, unlimited fries you can get.
I did like Rally's fries when I came here. Then I realized that one reason to go to Rally's is because you need to punish your stomach.
You can buy
Right.
Rally's fries frozen here.
See, even
You
under it,
There's a lot of restaurants that do that now. TGI
Arby's.
Fridays has always had a bunch of, food and fries and all that stuff you can
Yeah,
buy.
frozen appetizers.
Yeah, frozen app. Thank you. Yes, frozen appetizers.
Yeah, and there's also frozen fries under the Arby's label.
Yeah, under Famous Fries. They have a whole bunch of different restaurant type fries.
And Red Lobster starting to put it out its biscuit mixes.
I've gotten those.
Oh, Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Those
They have
been
two
out
different.
for
They have two
years.
different types.
What?
That they sell.
Wait, what was soft girl
Cheddar
fries
Bay
again?
biscuits.
The Cheddar Bay biscuits have been out for years.
Yeah.
They've been out
Yeah.
for a while.
Oh yeah, the
I'm-
mix, like 12 years.
I'm
or
halfway
10
with
years.
Aunt Jur. I don't care for the horsey sauce, but I'm actually annoyed that I remember like back in the 80s, you could actually buy the Arby's sauce by the bottle,
Yes, you could.
and I'm annoyed that now I have to deal with all those little packets because it's like, yeah, I would put that on a bunch of stuff if I could just get the bottles again.
It's really good.
The restaurant is open again, so he's going to take some containers.
Yep.
You know what you two should do? Just Google the recipe, purple. I guarantee you it's leaked. Like
Yeah.
McDonald's Big Mac sauce is leaked. Everybody's
Yeah.
secret Shit, there's a recipe. Just Google it. I'm telling you, there's a
Yeah, but
recipe.
that means we gotta cook
Put it on
it.
YouTube.
When I go
Search it on
to
YouTube. I bet you'll find somebody showing you how to make it.
Yeah,
When I
but
go
then
to-
we gotta cook it.
Yeah, Arby's.
Well, she wanted a big bottle.
He's gonna take.
They don't sell it anymore. What are you gonna do?
He's gonna take a Rubbermaid container to Arby's and fill it up.
Hey,
Yeah, they still have, as far as I know, they still have their horsey sauce. I mean, I haven't eaten there in
Yep.
like
Yeah.
7 or 8
Oh,
months.
yeah.
but
I
they
didn't
did.
just
know
got
that
some.
anything was different about the horsey sauce, but I don't use it.
so let me put a dilemma to you. Let's say you're Pennsylvania Dutch and you move to a state that, for some bizarre reason, should have more German influenced stuff, but has a lot of Cajun restaurants. When you want Pennsylvania Dutch food, what do you think the Pennsylvania Dutch person has to do?
Go to Ohio. There's a bunch of Pennsylvania Dutch restaurants in Ohio. I'm not kidding.
Oh,
They
yeah.
cook themselves.
All over Central Ohio.
Or they cook it themselves.
Listen,
Scrapple.
if I'm gonna, scrapple is the one thing I try to get people to eat before I tell them what it is.
Oh, I love
So
it.
good though.
I
You fry it
know.
with eggs, like a side of meat with eggs.
What
Oh,
exactly is scrapple?
You don't want to know.
It's
Scrap-
leftover bits of meat put into a loaf shape, and you
And
slice
buckwheat.
it, and then you fry it.
You pretend it's bacon.
It is a
Sounds
pork
yummy.
product.
It's pork.
It's-
Yeah.
It's scraps of pork mixed with buckwheat,
Yes.
And then you-
Buckwheat, that's it.
and then you form it in a loaf pan. You let it get
It's-
cold. You slice it and you fry it up.
It's
Good
So
stuff.
good.
Oh.
So
I think it's
good.
horrible.
Yeah.
I've
If
heard
you want,
worse.
first of all,
God, I should buy some of that. I haven't had scrapple in years. I gotta buy
Pennsylvania
hot
Dutch
dog.
food, go with things like ham and green beans, chicken pot pie.
You got that
Uh,
right, Maya.
If
Doesn't
That's
sound
right,
any worse
Maya.
than doesn't sound any worse than what you'd get in a hot dog.
You
Maya
can't
says
say
scrapple
it's.
is, Maya
Sorry.
says scrapple's the shit that didn't make the cut for the hot dogs.
Have
But
you
you
ever
can't
that's-
say it's a
that's
pig's
ham.
butt or pig's anus because they use that for something different. That's
Have
fake
you ever
squid.
had a Vienna Red Hot hot dog?
Lebanon Bologna, I actually
Oh,
picked
yeah.
that up. One of the
Yes.
local supermarkets has it.
Yes,
It's
I
not
have.
very good here, but
A Vienna
Um,
Red Hot's hot dog is made out of brisket. It's not made out
Really?
of hoof. It's not made out of nose. It's not made out of rectum. It's made out of brisket, purely brisket. That's
I
it.
didn't know that.
and
So-
buckwheat ox.
Don't be saying that all hot dogs are gucky because it's not true.
No, that's not true. Those things are good. I
Nope,
mean, I haven't had
scrapple-
one in a long time, but they are delicious.
The
Sticky-
scrapple is all the parts of the pork except the squeal.
I used
Well,
to
they
like
do
it.
stuff like the muscles, the meat in the cheeks and stuff. It's just
Oh,
it's not like cheek meat is actually pretty good. But anyways, that's
oh,
not the point.
cheek meat is awesome.
It's
You know what
designed to
cheek meat on a pig equals backstrap on a deer.
Ew, I don't
That's
like
the-
venison. But
You don't like back? Oh, you don't like venison?
no, I had a bad
Sorry,
experience
porpoise.
with venison sausage once. Kind of turned to the other way.
But the point is, I have to make it myself if I want stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the only reason to drive to Ohio through Ohio from Indiana is to get to Pennsylvania.
all you gotta do is drive to
No, but-
Ohio.
No, seriously, in central Ohio, it's like small Pennsylvania there.
But
There's all the Amish, all the Dutch, Pennsylvania Dutch restaurants and shit, German restaurants. They're all down there just outside of Columbus.
well, the Pennsylvania Dutch are German and Swiss.
I know, but I'm just saying some of them are labeled with the Pennsylvania Dutch stuff and some are labeled more German, but I know it's the same thing.
Here we call them Amish restaurants when we have any. And
It's
I love
basically
it.
what they are.
I love that the Walmart will just label things Amish and charge $1 more for them.
That's like organic.
What's the name of that place?
Yoder's.
No, Yoder's is good, but not Yoder's. It's a ways outside of Columbus. I feel like it's like an hour away or something. And it's like in a podunk ass town. And they have like meat pies and shit. Like you can't get more traditional in this place. There's
Vegan
no
meat.
bastardization. I went in there, looked at the menu, and went, I don't want to eat a lot of this. This is disgusting. It's like kidney pie and shit.
That sounds like British food. That's not
Yeah.
Dutch.
Steak
No,
and kidney pie.
maybe
is
it wasn't
British.
kidney. Maybe it was just a meat pie. But they had all this weird shit that only people that are from that era or still doing it like Amish would do, you know. But it was just weird. Some of the food was real. I had to like find something I wanted to try.
Do you mean
I'd be
I
willing
was
to try-
scared of what was in it.
I'd be willing to try blood pudding.
Yeah. Well, you know, all the
Ew.
stuff,
I've
all
tried
the
it.
stuff
Yummy.
you don't think anybody eats. Yeah, every ethnic group has a way to use that. It's usually in a sausage.
Yes.
Hey, Skits.
Hi.
Yes. What's up, buddy?
Hello.
It's
Hello.
And
Just
Skits
listening.
mixed in.
Although anytime there's a sausage competition, you know the Germans will always send their worst.
But I'm
Oh.
God.
Oh, you're such a brat.
And I'm
Worst.
leaving.
Oh.
Who does use potatoes?
Well, there's this place nearby.
There is
It's,
potato sausage.
it's this local place that sells these really good sweet potato fries.
I haven't made potato bread in a
Yum.
while.
Potato bread. I'm a
I
fan.
don't like sweet potato fries. They don't get as crispy. They get
Well,
kind of
these get crispy. These
They're
get
too
really
sweet
crispy.
for me. I can't. It's not
No,
what
you-
fries in my head taste like.
Yeah,
are good.
They
same.
should be like
I-
seasoned or
They're-
salty.
These are
or-
seasoned. These are crispy. They're good.
Yeah, but
Yep.
but sweet and salty. Oh baby.
No.
And also, there are ways.
Wrong
There actually
kind of
are
sweet.
ways you can
It's the
prepare.
wrong kind of sweet.
There are ways you can prepare a sweet potato so it's not sweet too.
I just don't like sweet potatoes.
Really?
Yeah,
Just cut
I
and
don't
dry.
care for
Oh,
sweet
I love
potatoes.
sweet
But
potatoes.
Oh, I love them with just roast them in the oven, slather them with butter, and put some brown sugar on them. Oh,
You need a sweet potato.
Now I might do that. I've never tried that in fry form.
Try spicy the stuff on a sweet potato. That usually takes the sweetness away.
Ant chair, I can think of one way of preparing them that is not good. And that's when you put corned beef and cabbage and potatoes together in like some water.
Mmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
I grew up
no.
on that.
Communist.
yeah. I've
Communist.
never liked corned beef.
I
I
don't know how to
love
tell them
corned
all the
beef and
ingredients
cabbage with
separately. I
potatoes.
just cannot. Sorry.
No,
I
course.
don't
All the talk about fries, that people miss one important point. French fries are not a food; they're just a vehicle for salt and ketchup.
Pretty much.
have-
No.
And
What
little
about
grease.
cheese fries?
mayonnaise. Mayonnaise.
Yeah.
on-
Then it's a
Cheese.
vehicle for cheese.
Cheese fries are
Cheese.
something I have never had a good version of.
Cheese and
Really?
bacon. Make them
So-
yourself.
I didn't know you could screw up cheese fries.
It's
Eh.
it's just the soggy potatoes,
Yeah.
cheese, and bacon don't mix well.
Yeah, that's the problem with the cheese sauce; they do get soggy.
Because I was going to say at Walmart, there's a brand of cheese sauce called Rico's. Top notch. It comes in a can.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's
I-
good.
I just go
Oh,
to In
it's
and
top
Out.
notch. They make just a regular classic cheddar, or they make a nacho.
Nice.
Well, if you're having trouble with the cheese, it's causing the fries to be salty or soggy. You just have this cheese on the side.
So speaking of which,
On
Our
Jur,
chip-
I need to try that. That sounds good.
do we have any English people here?
Oh,
So,
I think
all
I,
agree
I
that
think
chips
I was
are-
a British sailor
Danish?
in a former life.
So we can all agree that chips are just little thin pieces of potatoes cut up
No,
and fried.
no,
Yes, they are.
no. Chips are
Yes,
these
they are.
nice thick, square or wedge-shaped.
Yeah,
Chunks
those
of
are
potato.
wedges.
You're just
Not
intentionally
Yeah, not
trying
the
to start
square
something on
ones, though.
purpose.
They're wedges.
You don't
We
know
don't do
about
them
the wedges?
square.
They're not wedges. They're not wedge-shaped.
Yeah, no,
No,
what
they're-
you're talking
they're-
about are steak fries.
Yes.
Oh, they're talking about steak fries and not wedges. But those are steak fries.
Wedges are steak fries.
No.
Chips are chips.
Skits.
Well, basically, wedges are when you just cut the potato in quarters. Steak fries are when you cut it in eighths. Steak
chips
fries
are
are
the
just
shit.
Yeah,
skinnier wedges.
Exactly.
Definitional thing, I guess.
But wedges normally have the skin on them. Steak fries do not. And that's why I like wedges better, because I like the skin. Skin's where all the good shit is, anyways.
Well, the skins is where most of the potato's nutrition is.
All the fiber and all the good stuff.
Hey, Randy.
Randy.
Harmonica Man.
It's
You know?
smooth too.
If a lot of navies in like the age of exploration had carried potatoes, a lot less scurvy.
Yeah, because they're actually high in vitamin C
Oh, I didn't know that.
and
Well,
potassium.
the other thing they could have done was dried seaweed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't know that back then. I would.
Yep.
Can you imagine eating that shit all the time though, man? Oh, you'd shit your pants after a while. It's all so salty.
Well,
They
I
wouldn't know
imagine-
how to clean them or anything.
And imagine you'd have to know which seaweed too, because I can't imagine all seaweed is edible.
That's
No,
true.
I don't believe it is.
That,
Just-
okay, that
just-
was you take the
Just have it with your sushi all the time.
you take sweet potatoes with onion and olive oil, and pepper, and you cook that separately, and then you have another separate thing where you cook the pepper or tomato and garlic together, and you combine the two.
All right, this doesn't sound in any way good to me.
And you
Well,
don't get the
let-
sweet potato flavor.
Let
Ah,
us also not forget that that potatoes fueled the space race. One of the biggest problems the Russians had was the engineers drinking the rocket fuel.
Same with the
he's
Germans.
not kidding.
Yeah, in the 60s, the Russian rockets were actually fueled by vodka, a very bad grade of vodka.
Wow.
There was also a bomber that was fueled by vodka, and well, not vodka, by ethanol.
Good old ethanol.
And yeah, the planes always the planes by the time they got back to the hangar were always empty of fuel, no matter how far the planes flew.
I mean,
Yep.
our cars could run on ethanol, but just without conversions, it's gonna really shorten the life of the car.
Yeah, well, I'm sure
Yep.
Jenny will tell you about that. The main thing is that the ethanol makes the engine run hotter.
I plug mine in.
And more corrosive.
Jenny, you know anything about converting cars to alcohol?
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
Fair.
The
Fair enough.
The BTU output of alcohol is about 18% less than gasoline,
Mhm.
which means that you will have an increase of mileage consumption of about 20%. The other issue is that it's far more dangerous than gasoline to everybody around a car if it starts on fire, because the alcohol burns invisibly in the daytime. And
I
you
thought that was methanol.
walk right into an alcohol fire and not even see it until you're burning yourself.
Methanol is a type of alcohol.
It also is it's just a big hassle to fucking make. It's
Yeah.
they make it out of corn and say, oh yeah, it's good for the government. No, it takes one fuck of a lot of energy to make a gallon of ethanol,
A whole
it's
bunch
just-
of
it actually
land.
takes less.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like-
it's not really a green
Produce
fuel like they try to sell it.
Nah, it's bullshit. The farmers are just trying to make more money and sell their corn.
And isn't corn like heavily subsidized like through the government anyway?
Yep.
All
And that-
farming is. All industrial farming, they cover their asses. They have like insurance.
Well, and that's part
Basically.
of the whole thing with the ethanol from the corn was basically the government was already paying for them to grow the corn anyway. So if they had more of it than they could actually sell, they needed to do something else with it.
Well, that's fair enough. Right.
Ethanol.
But no, seriously,
It's
you
better than
guys,
rotting.
if the government did not give the farmers money every year, we would have no farmers. Most of them would have went bankrupt and we'd have no food. And people were like, oh, they give the farmers money.
Maybe
yeah,
Florida-
dude, we got to eat. Fuck yeah, they give the farmers money. Those guys rely on that, and they don't get something every year. Sometimes they'll get $1,000, and sometimes they get a lot of money because what they made that year dropped so low.
Yeah, it's
And
estimated.
they're going to fail. So the government gives them some of that money, not all of it, some of it, so they can keep their farm going.
Yeah,
You know,
it's estimated on a point system.
Yeah.
You know another profession I think they should try that with, especially in Florida?
What?
Teachers.
Oh, subsidizing teachers?
Giving the teachers money.
I agree.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a good idea everywhere?
Yeah. I know
All of
the,
the United States.
Well,
for
Florida,
like the farming and everything. Like I know they also started subsidizing a lot of farming during like the Dust Bowl and things like that, so you can prevent incidents like that. So they can allow farmers to have a fallow field without necessarily going broke for that season.
Yeah, we should fund schools differently in general.
I think we're also just going to have to start reining in corporations, and maybe what was I reading that said one of the things we're just going to need to do is start regulating corporations on an international level because they're just getting away with too much.
They really are.
Mm.
Well, it's because they own the government. That's why. Everybody's got their hands in each other's pockets. It's just ridiculous. If the corporations don't like it, it's not going to be made law unless something tragic and severe happens, and then they'll do it because they have to.
Well, yeah,
And
as
even
long
then,
as
with
the
gun control.
corporations are giving
Or they
millions
won't
of
be
dollars to
voted.
election campaigns.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They won't be voted in again, so then they have to do that because all of America wants them to do it.
Yeah,
And the
corporations
Citizens
have
United.
their
It's
hands
just
in
a
the
game, man.
in the
It's a constant
politicians'
game.
pockets, and the politicians have their hands down the corporations' pants.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
It's just a giant circle jerk.
Yeah, Ox, this is a point that I would argue that the U.S. is still self-sustaining. But yeah, a lot of the good land is winding up getting paved over for, housing developments.
Well, Idaho makes the best potatoes for baking.
Oh, russets.
Pennsylvania, the type of potatoes Pennsylvania grows work better for potato
No,
chips.
you're right. You're right, Jer. It's accurate for me.
Yeah, russets are the
Yep.
best for baking.
Oh, yeah.
The little red new potatoes are the best ones for soups or stews.
I've never tried
And
those.
for roasting,
But that's
like she
smart.
said.
It holds together better, doesn't
Yep.
it?
Red potatoes are also great for potato salad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're soft, they're tender. They got that little bit of starch that just kind of keeps them together.
Put some what is it? Is it rosemary or thyme and then some chives?
Some dill and chive.
Dill and chives. Thank you. That's
I
it.
put dill in my potato salad.
Yeah, that's what you're right. I couldn't think of what it was.
Yep.
Nice.
But I got you on the right path.
Yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme?
No,
Yeah.
because there's never enough time.
Just
Well,
like me, there's never enough
That's
cumin.
my oldest joke. Me and my ex had a little backyard garden. She had a good sized patio, concrete. She had just a table back there, and she's like, "I want like some flower boxes or something. Maybe plant some vegetables." And I was like, "All right." So I
If you
built her
want-
this big L-shaped, off the ground, so she didn't have to bend over to do anything much. It was like a little bit under waist high, and then all the way on the right side, because she had all these flowers and stuff growing up, viney flowers growing up the wall behind her. So I put a bench right there, and it was like just a little nook, and all her plants would be around her, and she could sit out there in the morning, drink her coffee, and she fucking loved it. I so got laid for that. But anyways, the point is that every time we harvested, we went out and got some, because she'd be like, "Oh, babe, I need some more time," and I'm like, "Babe, there's never enough time." And she'd be like, "Shut up and go get me some," because I said it every single time. And then after a while, she went out and got it herself. I said, "How come you didn't ask me to get it?" She goes, "I can't handle that shit." After like
No
7
wonder you
months,
choose
I'm
your
done
ex.
with you.
The sloth girl keeps all of her spices in alphabetical order, so she doesn't get sage because it's before her time.
Oh,
Wah, wah, wah.
sage is so good though, sloth girl. Really.
No, I'm not big on sage. It's not one of my favorites.
Only with
What's my favorite
I like
herb?
it with chicken. Sage is good with chicken.
Thyme and chicken. Oh.
Sage
Hello.
and thyme. I would do actually my favorite is rosemary and thyme for chicken. Steph,
Well, hello.
Back.
how are
I
you?
have not seen you in a while.
Hey, Stephanie.
Things go this way and that way.
Yep.
But
Well, I'm glad you could join us.
I think Athena's favorite potato salad is made by Sheba and contains no potatoes.
Ah. That's like Purple when he's making chili for me. He asked me, "How much cumin should I put in?" I say yes.
Yes.
I'm a cumin fanatic. I love cumin.
One of my favorite spices.
Yeah, she
No
does
such
the
thing
same
as
thing
too much
about
cumin.
garlic.
I
Yeah.
am fond of their.
Garlic is so good. But I'm Italian.
Oh, yeah.
Don't listen to me.
I am
I
fond of their
noticed that-
excavators.
I noticed that Stool had been. I just saw a comment on Twitter that Stool had been mashing his potato for 10 hours, which
Yeah,
led me to believe that.
Yeah.
he's
That's
been having
not his
potato
potato stuff.
problems.
Jesus.
I don't have that kind of
Wait,
patience.
how
for
do
it.
you peel a raisin?
Don't fucking know, but she's a beast and she does it.
Good God.
Should I peel you a grape?
You
But that's
actually
pre-raisin.
okay.
That's easier.
Yeah, I've actually peeled a grape, but I don't see how you can peel a raisin after it's all shriveled up.
No, actually, I
Yeah.
know people that have done that for
Well,
certain
plump it up
recipes,
first.
like cinnamon raisin bread. Some people will do that because the
These
raisins
are-
will get kind of
Yeah, you
the
plump
outside's
them up
kind of
in-
rough.
them up in some type of alcohol, and then put them in there. Oh yeah.
But why?
Why not?
Yeah,
Touche.
fair.
Why not is the better question.
Fair enough.
Fair.
Yeah. Now you're reminding me that there's still a container of gummy bears in the fridge, or drunky bears.
Junkie bears.
I
Woohoo!
might still have some of those in the fridge as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
we
these
know
have
what
been
junkie
soaking in
bears
the
are.
alcohol for well over a month now.
Oh, how
Oh,
big are they?
well.
They blow up?
Yeah, they're about 30% bigger than when they started, and there's no liquid left in the container.
So
That's awesome.
Dear God.
Wow.
Lethal gummies.
Yeah, that sounds harsh. Or
if you
could
skin,
potentially harsh anyway.
Yeah, they've just been soaking in cheap alcohol or cheap vodka all this time.
I use those cola flavored gummies. They're pretty good for rummy gummies.
It's
if you
fruit punch flavored gummies. Or fruit punch flavored vodka.
if you skin and clean 3
Hate fruit punch.
Pikachus, how many potatoes will you need to make a stew that serves 5 people?
About
What kind of
16.
potatoes?
Purple.
Small or big potatoes?
Shiny.
Yukons, russets, or like little red potatoes?
I'll
Go
say
for the
Yukons
purple
because
ones.
certainly
The
the
purple ones.
potato is the hugest is the biggest problem with this question.
There actually are purple potatoes.
Yes, there are.
Four.
But
Yeah,
aren't
there
they
are
the
purple
Pikachus?
potatoes.
There are purple skin potatoes. There's also purple flesh potatoes, which are
Yes.
That's what I
really
meant.
odd.
Yeah,
I'm
I
growing
usually
purple sweet potatoes.
Yeah, they're
I usually
sweet
use a
potatoes.
fork with the
Sweet
gummy
potatoes
bears,
aren't
just so
potatoes.
my fingers
Sweet
don't get
potatoes are
sticky.
morning glories.
They don't get all sticky.
And are you sure 3 Pikachus is going to be enough?
Oh, sure.
Well, it
I mean,
depends how many servings you want to make.
Which
You throw-
evolution is he?
Yeah, which evolution?
And how many Smurfs should you throw in for flavor?
No, because then it just makes the gravy all purple. Ew.
Yeah.
Ah, Smurfs, the only blue,
No,
the
thank
only
you.
original blue food.
Mm.
The original food
well,
coloring.
and then there's the classic question of if you choke a Smurf, what color will it turn?
A
Bluer?
deep shade of purple. Like your shirt.
Listen, the only thing I wonder about the Smurfs now is exactly how did the little children Smurf come about?
Smurfette is
The
active.
little children, I believe, came about because of a spell by Gargamel.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that'd curse all the Smurfs.
Yeah,
That's the little-
Gargamel created them, and then they ran away from him because he was abusing them.
That little Smurf shitlings running around. Ay, ay, ay.
No, because
Then he
at some-
created the chick Smurf. What's her
at
name?
some Smurfette.
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 Chick
Thank
Smurf.
you.
It's not
So
like
they
the Smurfs not
he
created
created
names.
Smurfette, and the Smurfs had. When I was a kid, I loved the Smurfs. The Smurfs had to go back to Gargamel's place and save her because she was trapped in there.
Yeah, but
Oh, so now we know how the baby Smurfs came along.
Mm.
The Smurfette originally had black hair before she got transformed.
Where
Blueberries
are
are
the baby
Smurf
Smurfs coming from? Where do baby Smurfs?
She had dark hair before she was transformed into Smurfette.
Yeah.
What was she?
You know, she was supposed to be like a spy or something for Gargamel.
Huh. I
Fair.
don't remember that part.
I don't know. I always assumed that there was only one girl because she got so jealous that she had killed all the other ones.
Yeah.
That's my headcanon, at least.
I don't think Jealousy Smurf was one that actually existed.
No, because then she'd have to be green. So
Hello, my
No,
queen.
but she just wanted to make sure she got all the boys' attention. She wasn't going to share.
But no, at some point it's like 3 little children Smurf show up,
Yep.
and not
with
like
the blue?
babies. It's like where did these guys come from?
Well, there were the 3 little kids, and wasn't there also a baby?
That's right. There was a baby.
oh
there was a
no,
baby
no,
Smurf.
no, don't make me
Baby
do it.
Smurf.
I never watched the show intentionally, just I was raising kids, so occasionally it couldn't be avoided.
Baby Smurf.
Fair enough.
Baby Smurf.
Did Pimpy Smurf forget the birth control?
That's
or-
an improvement on the shark.
Baby Smurf.
It somehow
Fair
gets still
comment.
copyrighted.
Harmonica Man. Blue
Actually,
balls.
is there any evidence that Smurfs actually have blue balls?
Well, they're all blue.
Well, the problem.
Have you
Why?
ever looked at a
Yeah.
Smurf's pants?
Like head to toe, they are blue.
They have any genitalia.
It's true. You never see one with
That's
a
all I
bulge.
know.
Harmonica Man. I just
See
want to
one with
see
balls.
someone
I like
ask
that.
Dr. Oz with a. It has to be someone from Southeastern Pennsylvania. Ask Dr. Oz with a straight face. Could you give me directions from intercourse to blue ball?
Or you could do intercourse to beaver. You could do beaver to moon.
No,
Beaver and moon
intercourse
are
and blue
really
ball are
close to each other.
Intercourse and blue ball are like 8 miles away from each other.
Yeah, literally. And beaver and moon
I
are like,
get
I don't
that,
even know, 10,
yeah.
15 miles. Really close. 10 miles away from each other, something stupid.
I mean, reporters should just have fun with Dr. Oz pretending to be from Pennsylvania. Ask him, it's like, does Sheets or Wawa have the better crudité?
To be honest, I think reporters are having a wonderful time with Dr. Oz being from
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
he fell for the same problem that John McCain fell for. They asked him how many houses he had, and he didn't seem to know. Well, he
God.
claimed he only had
He
2.
had 2, but
Yeah, but
in
when one of the reporters
fact-
checked the records, he actually owns like 10 properties around the world valued at over $100,000.
Good God.
Wow.
a few more, but-
That's right on, Jer.
Blue ball to intercourse is the healthiest way to go. Absolutely. There's no question
Yeah.
about that.
Hey, Doc.
Doc.
Even Dr. Oz would confirm that medical fact.
It's fact. It is a fact.
Fair enough.
Does Dr. Oz know what a medical fact is?
Good question.
Not all of Dr. Oz's advice was wrong. Only about 40% of it was.
Broken clock.
Yeah, everything outside of his specialty. I mean, the guy's he's not stupid entirely. He's just a grifter. I mean, it's like who was the brain surgeon guy? Talented brain surgeon.
With the 4 of them, I can't remember.
Carlson?
Yeah. Ben Carlson. He's
Oh.
not a stupid man, but it's like they're what do you call them? Idiot savants.
Savants. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
But outside of your specialty, it's like ask me anything outside of sailing, and I'm a dumbass.
We all have our
That was
niches.
Ben Carson.
That's it, Ben Carson.
Yeah.
when you say something with a name that sounds like that, and you say brain surgeon sarcastically, my mind automatically goes to a certain Fox News host who is definitely some kind of rocket surgeon.
Yeah.
It ain't rocket surgery.
I tried that joke the other day, and like I had like the dude like sit there and explain. The saying is this. I'm like, you don't get the joke, do you? Like,
Well, you know what's
Apparently
pretty
not.
cool is the test for the moon rocket that's coming up in a couple of days, I guess. That's pretty
If
cool.
NASA,
SLS.
actually, I know someone who's going to have code going up on some hardware going to the moon or going to space.
I know
She's-
someone who is responsible for fire prevention at Cape Canaveral. She's that's her job is, and she's actually there monitoring the thing so the thing don't blow up.
Hey, if I worked for NASA, I would have like 7 or 5 T-shirts that says, "Well, yes, actually, it is rocket science."
Right.
nice.
All right, well, unfortunately, I have to be to work tomorrow, so good night, everyone.
Bye, Corpus.
Okay.
Good night,
Nice talking
Corpus.
with you.
Lame.
Yep. You get some good sleep.
Well,
remember-
get your best sinister sleep you can.
Get the most sinister sleep you can.
And remember, if you ever need to punish your stomach for any reason, Rallies is, or Checkers, depending on where you are, if you have them at all, is open late.
Not here.
Thank you.
Thanks
No,
for the advice.
if you really want to punish yourself, mix,
So funny.
mix Taco Bell with Slim Jims.
Oh. Oh yeah.
On that topic, I recommend the Kinks tune "Motorway Living." Motorway food is the worst in the world. You've never eaten food like eating on the motorway. Motorway food is the worst in the world.
No clue what you're talking about, but okay.
Well, it's a song. Motorway food. It's like pull into the whatever's
Sounds
motorway.
like that Weird Al would sing.
Oh, okay.
Some
Well,
greasy
you know,
spoon
actually,
truck
the Quick Trip gas stations actually have some pretty good food.
Do they?
Yep.
Okay. Where are quick trip gas stations located?
Well, they're all over the Midwest. I don't know where else.
Okay. They're not here. Most of the shit that was this one, most of the shit that's in the Northeast is not good. We're talking, I don't know, Quiznos and Popeyes. Popeyes chicken. No, I'm not a big fan. Thank you.
I waited 45 minutes to get a Popeye's chicken sandwich when they first opened here
Holy shit.
in the drive-through.
Yeah, well, it
Oh,
was the drive-through
shit.
during COVID.
I would of all of us gathered in all of these little squares over the place, I'd say that Beck over here would probably have the best evaluation of the best motorway food.
Oh, you mean Alice?
That's really tough because of a lot of it's just junk. Usually the chicken places are better than most.
Okay.
If you can find like Chester's is really greasy, but it's like homemade, thrown in the grease fucking fried chicken. So it is really good, but it's really greasy. So you might want to like squeeze it with a paper towel before you eat it. Seriously. But they have some of the best chicken. And then
Consult your cardiologist.
What was that, Chester's?
Chester's.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm writing this down.
And it's
right
like
now.
a white rooster with like a cowboy hat or I don't know, something like that. I don't know. But that's one of the best foods I've had over the road that didn't make me like sick or feel crappy or have a bunch of shit in it or whatever.
So what do you do for a decent diet over the road? What do you do? What's the program?
You just look for places that serve like fucking decent salads or if you're just stuck with like meat and bread, you just try to go high end so it's good meat and good bread, you know, like so it's not like shit sugar filled Subway meat or bread or something like that, you know.
Subway meat.
Well, they're
Isn't that
actually I meant to say
moron?
bread. Their bread is so full of sugar they're not allowed to call it bread anymore.
Oh yeah, it's
Jeez.
grim. It's grim.
You have to
The,
call them like rolls or something. I don't remember.
Yeah,
firehouse-
that was a court in Ireland said that they had to classify it as a pastry.
The
That's it,
firehouse,
thank you.
the firehouse subs are pretty good if you want to go for a
Oh,
sub.
Firehouse subs
I
are
can't
good,
eat it.
but you can't
Firehouse
find those
subs.
on the highways.
Ah, that's a shame.
They're
All
not.
Firehouse subs have honey ham, and I get my words to honey.
Yeah, I usually like to get the meatball subs from Firehouse.
I haven't thought about that.
If you're ever in southeast Wisconsin,
Jesus Christ!
all right, never mind.
Laughing at
No,
myself.
I'm sorry. Sloth Girl's killing me
Sloth
tonight. I'm
Girl.
sorry. What,
I
Jenny?
mean, what the fuck, really?
Okay, Jenny, what were you saying about Southeast Wisconsin?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Well,
come on.
This is relevant because I
spill,
actually have to go
spill.
down there occasionally.
It was an accidental cackle. I'm sorry.
Come on, Jenny.
We're gonna wait.
No, I'm very good at being stubborn. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I know you are.
Yep.
I need to get this way.
So,
Yeah. When I was in New York,
I would say
the
Publix
Wegmans
does
grocery
something.
store had their own sub shop in the store, and those were pretty good.
I used to deliver to Wegmans. Yep, all the time. Go
Did you
up into New York.
Yes, they do.
Did you deliver? Did you deliver crudité?
What I like to do with the Publix subs, or I get the grab and go ones they have, and I replace the lettuce with sweet potato leaves used for my garden.
Sounds fair.
Strange.
Sounds good.
That's interesting.
Unusual.
No, I mostly deliver dry goods to them stuff. Toilet paper and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, at least
I
you know
wasn't
your
trying to
shit's
put you
at.
on the spot, although you are in the middle square. Which, you know, hey.
Sweetheart, I
Uncle
can take
Betsy
it. I got
Dallas
this shit.
today.
I got this shit. I'm not scared.
Let's see some Paul Lind energy up
some
there.
Uncle Beck ASMR there. Oh.
Hey, Skits. How you doing there?
Hey,
Look good tonight. Hey,
So
baby.
You too.
So
That's why I love Skits. Funny motherfucker.
How you doing?
Of all
How you
people I
doing?
could flirt with here. Oh, shit. You guys are too much. Fucking killing me. I'm going to have to go to sleep soon. I'm laughing myself tired.
Yeah, today was a pretty long day. We were it was a veteran stand down event a couple towns over.
Oh, yeah?
And since they're still trying to maintain, COVID kind of safety, they put them outside rather than being inside.
Right.
But it was also 105 degrees out today. So
Oh,
we were
fuck.
cooking out there.
fuck all.
Damn, brother.
Really?
What state are you in?
California,
Oh, up or
Oh,
down?
man.
northern. Yeah.
God
Yeah, the
damn.
Pacific Northwest is getting fucking killed right now.
And they're really not used to having this much heat. So a lot of people don't even have ACs. From San Francisco up the coast, a lot of people don't even have ACs because they don't
Yeah.
ever need them. They have like
Yeah,
the best weather.
Well,
They just need they need the heaters in the wintertime, and that's it.
Yeah. They don't like the swamp cool. The people, exactly, like they don't have a lot of ACs. Some of the people are like, oh, I'll just get swamp coolers in case it does get hot. But that isn't, cutting the mustard, with this heat up here.
Really?
Yeah.
Because my landlords, I think their roofs aren't insulated well then. Because my landlords have a swamp cooler, and it's just an old, it's been there for 10 years. And their house, except for their bathrooms where the air doesn't get into as well, they really should point fans at them,
I got you.
Besides their bathrooms, the rest of the house is nice and cool.
Oh, nice.
It's
I mean, their
like
upstairs is a little warm, but they don't have the swamp cooler upstairs. They have it downstairs because the upstairs was a later addition.
Yeah, swamp
before they bought
coolers
the
don't
house.
work around here because when it gets hot, it gets so humid.
Yeah, the humidity. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
the
but
swamp
that- see,
cooler's
that's-
not going to do anything for you because it's already to the point that your sweat won't evaporate.
Yes. Yeah.
Boy.
Exactly.
Whoa.
That's why they work so well here. Our general humidity is like 10 or 11%.
I
So-
wish it was like that.
Yep. I'm in the high
Wow,
desert
that's-
stuff. It's dry as fuck here.
AC is required in Florida.
No, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
fuck
we were
yeah.
getting temperatures
right
in the
now,
90s.
right now
or
in
humid.
Maine, it's like 16C, 16, 15C,
Oh, man.
or
Where?
you know, it's like 60, 63.
Where'd you say,
Fahrenheit.
Maine?
Yeah.
Yeah, Maine. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And
I went. I've been
you know,
there
it's
before.
it's humid.
always
I
cooler
mean,
up
we've
there.
got
So, yeah.
got the Atlantic Ocean, and you know, but it always stays fairly reasonable here. July was horrid, but it's getting better.
I went to Biddeford, Maine, a few years back, and it was during the winter time because we were out there duck hunting. Boy, was it cold!
I've been to
It
Biddeford
is
before
chilly.
Oh yeah.
in a truck.
Yeah.
I've been all over the United States.
Well,
Wait, you
here
used a
when we
truck
were-
driver, or
Yeah, I was over the road for like 8.5 years.
When we
cool.
had temperatures in the 90s, it was
We're
accompanied
like,
by
"Man,
like 70% humidity.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't miss the humidity a bit. It's been humid here because this is our monsoon season. We've been getting a lot of rain. And between that and my testosterone, I have been dripping with sweat from the moment I get to work until I fucking leave every single day.
damn.
See, I don't miss
Oh,
that.
yeah. I mean, it feels so good. And I literally sweat more than what will evaporate off of me, which is weird. And that's how you know it's humid here.
For real.
Because that does not happen. Like, you don't normally like have like big beads of sweat dripping down your face everywhere, like off my eyebrows and off the end of my nose. Like I just got out of the pool.
Yeah, a headband helps with the stuff dripping off your forehead.
Right, yeah.
It doesn't matter what if
Well,
I have a hat,
ooh.
but if I put my hat on, then it holds the heat on my head.
Pro tip: get in the pool. That way you won't notice.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
problem
but
I
work.
had when I was doing the landscaping, was that my brow would sweat so much I would literally have it running down my glasses.
Yeah, you just put a headband on. It'll
Yep.
you won't get the sweat coming down in your eyes and your glasses.
But you will be picked on by your male coworkers. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm stealth at work. Let's not put any more pressure on me, you guys.
You're cool. You're cool.
I remember
I'm stealth at work too.
growing up in California. It was just always a relatively low, at least northern, and it's a relatively low. Oh, good God, humidity. I remember my first going to the South for basic training. Like it just as soon as we stepped off the plane, in the deep South, 90 degrees, 100% humidity. It was just like, oh my God.
Where were
am I
you?
Walking or swimming? Fort Benning. I went to basic training there.
Oh shit!
I
See,
was
I went
stationed-
to South Carolina.
I was stationed with
So I didn't
the
have it quite
second
as
North
bad.
Carolina.
Oh, nice.
With the,
Nice.
deployed out to Iraq, but even that's dry heat too. So like,
Yeah, my brothers were out there too.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
good times.
one of them was 13 Fox Forward Observer.
Oh yeah,
He started out a paratrooper and then went into and became a fucking ranger, and
There
then
you
said,
go.
"I don't want to do this." Swear
after
to
you become
God,
a ranger, you're like, I'm done. Like,
yeah,
you just
he
went through
was
like the most
the
intense
third in his
training.
class, and he was like, "I don't want to do this," and they were like, "Wait a minute, whoa, you're strong, you're brilliant, please." And he's like, "No, I want to play with computers." He just quit doing it, and he got transferred down, took a step down. 'Cause
God,
he didn't want to do it.
yeah,
He didn't want to be
like,
out in the field and shit anymore. He just wanted to play with computers.
Yeah, 4 years was enough for like I was a paratrooper and I was the RTO, the radio guy. So it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
I always had to carry extra weight with the radio and the batteries. And it's like if I was after 4 years, like, do you want to re-enlist? Let's give you this, and this. I'm like, dude, I am this beat up after 4 years. Like,
fuck no. You can't offer me enough benefits for me to go back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They were trying to offer me everything they could, you know, but it was like, yeah, I'll go to college. Thank you. Like,
both of my brothers did 8.
Yeah, I just did my 4.
Walt the 13 Fox was was in North Carolina 82nd. And my other brother, the one you guys know, Richard, was 101st.
Oh, air assault.
Yeah. Air assault. That's right. He's got a big
the screaming chicken.
He's got a big fucking helicopter on his chest with a parachute and another guy come sliding out of it on a fucking rope.
There's my Class A's up there. Like,
oh, I know. I've seen him. The first time I ever saw you live with your,
Oh, that's right.
I noticed him like that. Yeah.
Good man. Oh yeah, that was another thing.
I'm sure that happens on my clothes here because it dries so fast, like on my hat and stuff, and the edges of my shirt, pant line.
That was a hilarious thing about when we were in Iraq. Obviously, we sweat all the time, so we had all this salt crusting up on everything we had. But we got a rumor from like Intel that they thought that our armor was air conditioned because they thought that was frost coming off of our gear. So,
no, negative, no.
Seriously?
Yeah, they thought we were packing, AC,
Yeah, bitches. I got AC BDUs.
No.
Oh my god.
Not how it works.
I had to throw some kind of acronym behind it, right?
DCU. Now
Well, they do
DCUs,
sell
I think.
Cooling vests.
Yeah. Not standard issue.
No. You gotta buy them bitches. Yeah, how's your back feel there, Randy? I'm just teasing him. He's got a fucked up back, poor guy.
30%.
Aerosol was fun. My back's fucked, but it was fun.
For real.
See,
That's
now, Randy, you could talk aerosol with Richard.
Aerosol. Dope on a rope.
Crazy bastard on a rope.
Yeah.
I was like, brother, why would you want to do that? And he goes, something to do. I'm like,
something
okay.
to do.
Yeah, that's just Richard. He's like, it was something to do.
Aerosol was cool, and I almost did go to aerosol school. There was that was one of the things that were offering me for reenlistment. Was, hey, we'll send you to aerosol school, but I'm in an airborne unit. It's kind of really kind of pointless. It's another thing to put on my uniform, but do better. And they did not do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't do shit when I was in. I was just fucking warehousing and a truck driver and
88 Mike
I started out I didn't go to school for it. The unit said, who wants to learn to drive a truck? We need a truck driver because somebody retired or moved or something. And I was like, I like driving shit. And that was the first time I ever drove a truck. And I was 19 years old. The first time I ever drove a tractor trailer. And it was a fucking 5-ton, like the full-size semi-truck. But it was automatic. It didn't have to shift.
Automatic.
It was automatic already. And they had the reserve tank switch on the floor like the old cars used to have. And they said, well, come on. They drove me up the road and they brought me into this new construction site. And I actually drove past that National Guard Armory. And it's so funny because it's so crowded by houses and shit now. It used to be wide open all the way around it for like, I don't know. It had a good half a mile square radius of just their shit, But anyway, so they took me around to where they were going to build these houses in a cul-de-sac. And they pulled in there and said, back around the cul-de-sac, keep your tires within 2 feet of the curb and don't hit it. And you'll pass. And I did it on the third try. Oh, I backed around on the passenger side. Let me correct that. It was not the driver's side. It's the passenger side.
Oh, God.
And they were like, good enough. You can drive this fucking thing. Drive it back to the base. And the guy jumped in and we went back to the fucking base. Yep. And I was just a truck driver.
God, I love Army or military schools.
Oh, fuck yeah. They just
needed
needed one because we were going to bivouac a week later.
So they need somebody.
They didn't have anybody to drive the truck. So they had to do something. Second time I drove it, they had me training some kid. Swear to God, man. So I got this kid. I get him on the highway and everything. we pulled off at the first rest area. We switched. I was letting him drive, right? And so we're, convoying up the highway, 45 miles an hour. Convoying up the highway, and it's hot as fuck. And we're going from Florida up into Georgia.
Oh, God.
So we're going from hot as fuck to humid and humid to hot as fucking humid.
Fucking
And this was in June. Pretty sure it was the middle of June or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
that's hot as fuck.
Yeah, it was the middle of June. It's like Father's Day, and they're like, "Okay, you motherfuckers." Anyway, so where he's going up the road, everything's cool. We're almost to the next rest area, and I was like, "How do you feel about it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I feel pretty good." And I'm like, "Do you want to continue driving? You want me to take over?" He's like, "Maybe a break," because we had still one more rest area and then our destination. And I said, "Okay, I'll drive when we get over here." So we're coming off, and now mind you, I have a tractor trailer full of parts for the Hawk missile system. Everything from
not an
bolts
empty load.
to, I mean, there were big steel shelves in there. It's fucking heavy, right? Yeah. This guy in the left lane comes all the way over across the fucking 3-lane road, gets in front of him and slams on his brakes on the off ramp. So this boy puts both feet on the brake, and he's holding the steering wheel. He's like, "Fuck!" like this, and and smoke rolls past us a minute later. Didn't hit the guy. The guy pulls into the truck stop. We pull up. Now, all the military vehicles were like right here. Well, the cars, because we were parked in the truck parking, the cars had to park over here. So he pulled past us. We pulled in, and I yelled out the window, "Did you see that motherfucker?" And Sarge goes, "What, Madsen?" And I said, "That motherfucker just cut him off and slammed on his brakes right in front of him. Cut right in the middle of the convoy." He goes, they were like, "Oh, hell no." And all of a sudden, they all got out of the trucks, and there's like 22 dudes walking towards this guy. This guy gets out of his truck, locks his door, turns around, unlocks his door, gets in his truck, and just drove away. I'm out. And I'm coming towards him with the trucks. I'm like, "Go over there. I'm going to get to him faster." And he took off in that little fucking Toyota Tacoma or whatever it was. We never saw that motherfucker again. He was gone.
Find the next rest stop.
By the way, that kid never drove again. That was it. He was done.
that traumatized him for that.
Yep. PTSD. Don't want to drive a truck again.
Have you noticed once you get into Georgia, the roadkill seems to go up?
It's true.
Yeah, in Upper Michigan, you don't see much roadkill because people pick it up for dinner.
Okay. Oh, Roadkill Cafe.
That's true.
Actually, my grandmother had a rule about that she wouldn't pick up any roadkill going into town because she didn't know how long it had been there. But if coming back home, she saw something that hadn't been there when she went in, she'd take it because then she knew it had been less than 4 hours and it was safe.
Safe. There you go. I mean,
sure.
I ate everything that lives in the Michigan forest at some point.
So that's where those campers
you got porcupines in the wood shell? No, that's dinner.
So you've eaten Sasquatch?
I may have, for all I know, but
I would like to see Sasquatch roadkill. That'd be something. Here you go.
The one left that was in the world just flattened. Look, he was real.
Yeah, sorry.
My bad.
Roth girl, I was born in September, and my parents absolutely told me that I was produced on New Year's Eve.
My girl's birthday is September 20th.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Never thought about it before.
Like, oh, that makes sense.
January 20th.
Nice.
There's always a bit of a surge, I hear, in childbirth in September.
Dude, put your tail down.
Makes sense. You got the cold months.
September, October, November.
Yep.
You've probably seen her around Compelled Unbeliever.
I get her around.
Yeah, she does.
on the crazy interwebs, intergalactical webs, here and there and everywhere.
Damn, this boy is. Look at this thing. Oh, solid muscle.
Kitty!
Look how big he is.
That's a big cat.
Look, I'm standing him on my lap.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
he's
a
not
large-
even stretched out all the way.
Yeah.
He can reach from my refrigerator up on top of the wall where I have a space above so air circulates into my bathroom. And he just reaches up there and pulls himself up. It's ridiculous.
He's big like my petunia is.
Yeah, I mean he has no fat on him.
Mine either.
Fucking muscle.
I mean,
He
my
weighs like
petunia weighs
16
19 and
fucking- Does she?
my petunia weighs 19 and a half pounds. She's not
that's the one
fat
that
at all.
Purple showed me a picture of. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I showed you a shot of her yesterday.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maine Coon-
I lost
Maine-
count at 16 pounds with him. I don't really know how heavy he is anymore.
Maine Coons are enormous. They're
Yeah,
huge.
I think my
cats.
petunia has some Maine Coon in her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she's like half Maine Coon. I know the purebred Maine Coons can get up to be like 35 pounds.
Yep, they're huge.
Ridiculous.
But she's
And
got
he's
the
a
ear.
baby. He's only 2.5 years old.
Still young.
Yeah, like, petunia's
he's
got
still
the
young.
ear tufts.
So back that means that indeed, if you do pass on to the great beyond, you can be sure that Kitty will take care of what remains.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Here we go.
Yeah, all right.
This is the
See,
best
but I
thing
don't.
for your face.
I leave their food container on snap. I don't snap the lid on it because they never get into it. Like they know better.
Mhm.
And so if they're ever starving, they'll have like a whole. I always keep like half to a whole 5-gallon bucket of food. I just buy the big bags. So and I intentionally leave it open like that. So if something happens to me or something, they can at least get to the food.
This
But
is
they'll run out of it
Petunia.
eventually.
Absolutely true. This
Fact. Fact. Oh God.
That's hilarious.
But that's Petunia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one of the cats that I had brought from New York to Michigan, Guapo, was a long kitty. No, he could stand up on his back paws and he could, have his front paws flat on the kitchen counter.
I believe it.
Yep.
He was the dachshund of cats.
I have a high kitchen counter, but I think if it was lower, he could probably do that.
Well, and I I wound up studying him quite a bit, and I came to the conclusion that Guapo was a perfect 1/8 scale tiger. He had the exact proportions for that.
That's hilarious.
I have a friend who has 2 dachshunds, and I've got to tell you, dachshunds are annoying. They yip a lot. They like to get vocal, and it's like, would you just calm the fuck down?
Friends of ours in New York had 3 dachshunds.
Just annoying.
it's
Anytime
their
anybody walks
anniversary
in the
today,
room,
Perp.
it's
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it was.
go off. It's like, shut the fuck up.
I saw it on the Book of Face.
Well, that's why I don't like small dogs in general. More than anything, it's because of the yapping. The high-pitched yapping just grates on me so badly.
Yeah.
That's why,
I
I
can't
want a
take it.
dog that comes at least knee-high, because then it's going to have more of a bass woof.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Because it's all about that bass.
I like small shepherds and domestic labs and stuff like that.
Always had a soft
They're
spot
good,
in my
like
heart for
60,
black labs.
70-pound dogs. They're not too big, but they're good dogs. They're intelligent.
I've always been
train
fond of the
easily.
sled dog varieties.
Oh, Kitty,
yeah.
I think the Samoyed's my favorite, but Huskies are
That's the
Malamutes.
7 time.
Samoyeds are pretty cool dogs.
He tries
They're
to
a
get
little
me
bit
back.
They're a
Petunia
little
likes
high-strung,
belly
but-
rubs, but she'll bite your head off to do it.
Oh no,
Well-
he loves it.
Yeah,
He likes-
Petunia will lay there with her belly
Oh my
fully
God.
exposed, And you
Look at
can
him.
get 3 strokes. If you touch it a 4th time, she will shred your hand.
1, 2, 3. You know better.
Run.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I trained you.
Go.
No.
If you touch it a 4th time, she will do the kangaroo kicks with her back legs and just shred your entire arm. She was declawed when we found her, so she doesn't have any front claws, but she knows how to make up for it.
She's got teeth.
Yeah, it took 3 years for her to stop biting me.
Only because she's a pussy. I give her a couple good smacks and she stopped biting me.
I'm not a pussy. I knew she had been abused. I wasn't going to continue it.
There.
Oh my God, Sloth Girl, you kill me.
I think I can generally communicate with
Promises?
cats better than I can with most people.
Sloth Girl's been knocking it out of the park.
Why did
Yeah,
the
that's
sperm cross the road? Because I put on the wrong sock this morning. I'm totally using that
There
at
you
work.
go.
At some
What are you
point.
gonna? How can
Like,
you
I'm stealing
answer
that.
something like that?
Totally stolen. Totally stolen. And it's easy. I can remember that because it has to do with yeah. I'll remember.
Well, that thing. What you said.
Cat's like, I want nothing to do with this conversation.
Oh, he's ready to go lay down and take a nap now. That's his pre-nap thing. I rub him and he's like,
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, Sammy
He's got
knows
it
when I'm
made, really.
screaming it's time for him to take a nap.
nobody rubs me before bed.
Yeah.
I rub my pussy all the time before I go to bed.
I said no one else does it for me.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't say things don't get touched. I said no one does it for me. God, I'm on testosterone. Let me, enough said.
Jesus.
Well, Sammy knows that if I put on
like
the
hump a
headphones,
fence
I'm going to
post
be here a
sometimes.
while, so then he takes a nap using my ankle for a pillow.
Oh,
That's nice.
Oh.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my
I
bird
like
to
kitty
figure
love.
out that I talk into my headset. He's gonna try and talk over me when he sees me put it on.
That's hilarious.
Birds.
Yeah. Don't talk over me, cat.
Which fence, Sloth Girl? I'll be there in a minute. Wait a minute, is she hot?
Does it matter?
Well, you know, I don't mean like model hot, but some women are just not attractive to me. Just like I'm not attractive to some women. You know.
And if I'm going to commit a crime, at least if they're going to.
Sounds fair.
Well, you know, it explains why the teenage boys wanted to build a treehouse.
Yeah?
You know, I never thought of that. My brothers never built one, but we lived in a big, huge valley on 100 acres by ourselves. They had no desire to get in a treehouse, but they were gone up the road a lot.
Boys like tree houses because they're so used to woodies.
Ba-dum-bum.
That is, thank you, Jer. That's exactly my point. It is subjective.
Thank you.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Mm.
Oh, God.
Do you literally remember all these, or do you have them like a stash somewhere on your computer? I have to.
I
know.
look them up on the internet.
Okay,
Fair
that's what I thought. But you don't pick the stupid ones though. You're still picking the funniest.
Yeah, the
fucking
best
shit.
ones.
do-
Best
you
of the
do
best.
an
I just
awesome
had to know
job
if you
at
had
this.
like
I
a
mean,
stash or
seriously.
you know. I could picture you with like 3 files on your computer just full of jokes. I could see that.
She has a bad pun eidetic memory. Just got them all.
That's not very punny.
No.
Dear mom, dear NASA, your mom thought I was big enough. Pluto.
Damn.
Well, obviously the guys at NASA are compensating for something.
I see those guys all the time around here. They have like the big trucks jacked up way too high. They have steps on them because they can't even get in. They get the lights over top of it. They got the bull bar and the American flag.
They all got
across
together
the back
and built a
window, and then
100-foot-tall dildo.
And then they get out and they're like some little city boy, and I'm like, the fuck are you driving?
Why isn't there a pregnant Barbie doll?
Why?
Because Ken came in another box.
Oh yeah. I remember that one. That's an old joke.
Oh wow.
Ken came in a different box.
Oh my god.
What do a nearsighted gynecologist and a puppy have in common? A wet nose.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I almost puked. Oh my god. I almost puked.
Yeah, Aunt Jura, I actually had to build a step up for Sloth Girl to get onto her bed.
Yeah. You got a big head and little arms.
Like a T-Rex.
T-Rex.
Well,
no,
Sloth Girl has the classic Italian build that she's got a big torso and short limbs.
Oh yeah, my mom was built exactly like that. Yep, she was 5'2", broad built, big, like broad boned, but chubby, but so fucking strong. When I was a teenager and she backhanded me, she literally made me spin around and I hit the floor. And I was like 6 inches taller than her.
She made you see last Tuesday?
Almost 5 inches tall. Yeah.
Good night, Randy.
Hell yeah, she did. She knocked the shit out of me a couple times. Not that I didn't deserve it. I absolutely did. You do not call your mother a bitch. Nor should you come home drunk and laugh when your mother asks if you're drunk. Bad idea. bad idea. Italian mom, pissed off.
Pissed off a tight. No, that's not a good combination.
You know what she did me the next day? Well, she smacked me. I was brushing my teeth. Ow. And the toothpaste went all the way across the fucking bathroom on the wall. Like, it looked like it was like splattered with a paintbrush. And because she hit me so hard, and my head, which she did not mean to do, and I know because when I looked at her, she was kind of like, ooh. She hit my head against the fucking fuse box.
Jesus.
And back then, they weren't breaker boxes. They were the fuse boxes in your bathroom, right?
Well, she was just trying to diffuse.
They stick out of the wall. They have a a door on them. You open. Yeah, that one.
Man, sure, really? Well.
I will have you know, Andrew, I have a very short torso. See my hand? I mean, I don't even have big hands, right? Compared to my mic, right? You see, I don't have big hands. I can do this, put this on my hip, and my finger up here is about an inch and a half from my armpit. Not kidding you. When I stand up, I'm 5'6". When I sit down, I'm 5 foot. I look like I'm 5 foot. Yeah, I have stood up in front of people before, and they were like, "Oh, didn't expect that." Because I look so short.
Oh,
I'm all legs.
I know about the Jewish mothers. Where I grew up was like 85% Jewish.
That's weird because I'm all torso. It's like I've got,
short legs.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of lanky all the way around.
It's like it keeps saying I'm tall from the waist up.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
except I'm opposite. I'm opposite.
I mean, I don't have a huge wingspan, but I've got a fairly large wingspan compared to everything else. It's kind of ridiculous.
And I got T-Rex arms.
Do you know a lot of Hispanics have regular sized torsos and shorter legs? A lot of Mexicans.
Yeah.
Specifically Mexicans. Yeah. They will have regular sized torsos, but their legs are just shorter. They don't look weird or anything, but if you look at them and you'll go, wait a minute. See, but I live in a place full of different varieties of Hispanic people with a lot of Mexicans. So it's interesting. I think it is.
This one's good. Why does it take 100 million sperm to fertilize one egg? Because they won't stop to ask directions.
I remember that joke. Good one.
That's a good joke.
Why do
Oh,
brides
all
wear
ass.
white?
I forget.
Because the dishwasher should match the oven and the stove.
That's
Oh
right.
my god.
Mm.
Yep.
I remember that one too.
Oh. I would get in trouble for saying that one at work.
Yeah.
We're gonna start making women jokes because I have some that I can't tell anymore. Because then I'm sexist, you know.
Oh,
Now I'm sexist. Yeah.
Well,
Does it work that way?
I like women with thick thighs because it keeps my ears warm.
Oh my god.
Mm.
I'll
Smother
see
me,
you.
baby.
Take
Oh,
care.
sorry.
Oh, bye, Jenny.
Oh,
Okay.
Not saying anything.
Yeah, I've got to get up for a moment, so I'll be right back here. The rest of you, chatter, entertain yourselves.
Entertain thyself.
Who can juggle? Quick. Anybody? Anybody got 3 balls, 3
Anybody?
apples?
Anybody?
Ball,
Got 2 balls.
I got 2.
Oh, that's better. It's more. That's 2 more than I got, buddy.
2
For the
balls
next
in
year and a
bag.
half. Stephanie got it. Why did Jenny leave?
Just out of nowhere.
She couldn't get a word in twice.
I muted
God.
myself several times so everybody else could talk.
What do you call a smiling Roman soldier with a piece of hair stuck in his teeth? A gladiator?
Prepubescent? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No.
that's
I didn't hear you slap there. I'm sorry.
a gladiator. Yeah.
A gladiator.
The
Here we
groaner.
Here we got Skits playing with his balls on camera.
Uh-oh.
Well, at least they're not blue. Good for him.
Red and green?
Dude,
to a
you
doctor.
might want to see a diet.
Ah, God. I'm afraid I'm going to hit
Okay,
something with the
I'm
golf
shutting
ball.
I'm impressed that he can hold 3 balls in one hand.
You should say how many I fit in my mouth.
I'd be impressed with anybody with 3 balls.
Well, see, there was this woman in the 80s that taught him. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to tell that story. I forgot. I apologize.
Confucius say American baseball all screwed up. Any game, any person with 3 balls cannot walk. I kind of screwed that one up.
I think it's 4 balls.
Yeah, 4 balls cannot walk. Yeah.
Walk proudly.
I guess they could, but they'd have to be bow-legged, wouldn't they?
I'd love to go
Like a
swimming.
cowboy.
Well, to this day, Soft Girl still has her ex-husband's nuts in her purse.
Oh,
Fun.
I mean, those have got to
Soft
be
Girl's like, oh.
like walnuts, because I think
I-
walnuts would go bad
That's
by now.
something that you
I
told me.
considered having them turned into earrings, but
Well,
I
assembling
figured that-
assembling furniture, he had some extra hardware that I didn't know what to do.
oh, that's right. Yes, I put it in my purse.
Call them ear testes.
See, I
I'll admit
set
it.
you up for your own
but
joke,
I
and you don't remember it.
I
figured,
know.
No.
I'll admit it. I have a
Please.
tremendous sex drive. My girlfriend lives 40 miles away.
Well,
Yeah,
no.
you know what, Ox? You're right, sir. You are absolutely correct.
That safe feeling.
They say that during sex you burn off as many calories as running 8 miles. Who the hell runs 8 miles in 30 seconds?
Yeah, that's why I have sex. Just get it out of the way.
Time to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And done.
Walk to the bedroom, start stripping your clothes off.
Hey, I renamed my bathroom gym so I could say I go to the gym every morning when I wake up.
Oh,
I like that.
that's great.
Sweet.
Tap dance on hot coals.
Might confuse my girlfriend though. Jim, who's Jim?
The fuck? We need to have a conversation.
Yeah,
I
seriously.
used to go to the gym
No, I'd be single.
just because it was in the same strip mall as the Dunkin' Donuts.
Sounds good.
Donuts.
There for a while, I was just going to the gym to shower. And I was like, yeah, man, I go to the gym like every other day.
Totally.
It's like religiously, if that's a word. Every other day. Every other day.
Purple, what sort of stress have you been having transitioning? Hello?
Who are you
Hello.
asking that of?
Purple.
Purple?
Yep.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
Well, I'm just getting used to, going out in public as a woman, so I still don't know what kind of reactions I'm going to get from people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of anxiety in that.
Yes, there is. Fine.
Does
Especially
the,
around here. Because we got a couple of
there's
guys.
still a bunch of Trump signs around this neighborhood.
Sure.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Take those and shove them up your ass.
Dude, they're everywhere.
Yeah, there's this one guy who sits in the parking lot next to the Burger King, and he's got a Trump flag and a flag that says "Fuck Biden." Each
Oh
of
my
which are
God.
larger than the vehicle itself.
Can I
Up on
can I
those
tell a-
large poles?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I tell a short story?
Patriot.
Yeah,
That's
go right ahead.
Rather funny. I was doing a regatta in Marblehead, and I think it was a match racing regatta, and one of the umpires was, this raging transphobe Trumpista, and after the regatta was over, we go to this Italian restaurant in Marblehead, and he starts going off. It's like there was an IJ international judge and a national judge, and this dude who was I think he was a regional judge, and me, and we're sitting at this table, and he starts going off, and only one other person sitting there in this group of four knew I was trans, and this guy's just going off with this just ridiculous Trumpista rhetoric, and then
Oh my
he
God.
starts going off on trans people, and it's like, and I'm sitting there like losing my shit, just like, huh, what, okay, fine, people, and it's like he's going on, and he's going on and on and on, and I said, and finally I just got fed up, and I said, have you ever met a trans person? And the guy goes, no, not so far as I know. I go, have now.
I love you. Yes. I love it.
That's fantastic.
It's like holy fuck,
What did he say?
He was completely nonplussed, and it was like we had finished eating dinner, so he was just going on. We were waiting for our checks, and it's like, okay, I get my check, and I get my check, pay my check, and I walked out the door. It's like, bye.
I'm done.
That guy won't get invited to another U.S. sailing event ever.
Oh no, not after causing a ruckus like that.
No, it's just, what the fuck, dude? You don't even know what you're talking about.
Literally.
You don't have no idea.
Yeah.
I just spent 4 days with you, and you hate me because you've never met me.
It's
It's like,
Wow.
maybe stop and
Hi,
think
Dave.
about your prejudices.
And it's amazing because so many people think California is a very liberal place, and for the most part, typically it is, but especially in like certain places, especially up here in Northern California, it's super conservative. They're flying, they're still flying Biden and fuck Biden and let's go Brandon and Trump flags everywhere. And as part of my job, I deal with a lot of veterans, and they typically up here, especially, are very conservative. And part of my job is I can't be political with them, and it just doesn't fit with the program. But that doesn't stop them from expressing their politics to me. And to have these people who it's like I help day in day out. I run their groups. I provide food at food pantries, and then to say, oh, all Democrats should be lined up against the wall and shot. I'm like, good God, man! Like, I get it.
We can't just have a disagreement. We got to shoot people. See, that's the problem.
Yeah.
That is exactly the mindset of the main part of society that causes these people to think it's okay to go shoot up a fucking school.
Exactly.
That's what's doing it. It's brainwashing shit.
That's their way of solving their problems.
But
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you have to understand this is the kind of queer thing about being visible, not visible.
Mhm.
Like if you're quote unquote passing, I'm not reticent about my past, and given my profession, some people know and some people don't. This guy didn't, and it was just one of these things. Have you ever met a trans person? Well, you have now. And we actually had a decent conversation up until that point when he started to go off. And you don't need to hold that hatred so close to your chest. You don't need to make that a part of your personality. You don't need to make that something that you're going to hold on to, because when you do, you make yourself into a complete douchebag.
Well said.
Can I jump in here real quick? I am so excited. I got my first trans story. Let me give a little bit of background here. I've known Diana, Bub, Purple for, I don't know, what, 4 years or 5 years?
Yeah, well,
somewhere in there.
I've been on YouTube for about 4.5 years.
Yeah, yeah, and I think I was one of the ones that bullied you into doing it.
Well, yeah, actually, I have been on more than 5 years because I was on for about 6 months under a different account.
Anyway, so from knowing this group of people, in particular, like Diana, when I first met Diana, I had no idea. I'd never met a trans person. And so in these streams and so forth, we would talk and I would just pummel her with questions. And even offline, she would, explain things to me. And there were other people that did. And where I live, there's just not very many trans people. So I was at a dinner with some friends, my wife's friends, and they started talking about trans people. Some kind of deal about there was some sorority that was not going to allow this trans person in there. And I could tell this person was being a little bit weird on it. I was like, well, why shouldn't they? Well, because they're a man. They're genetically a man. I was like, what? We're talking about gender here. And then he and his wife were like, yeah, but we're talking about DNA. A man is a man and a woman is... Oh, okay, yes. So I had to explain to them that like the most ultimate woman was literally genetically a man, and that actually it's estimated that about 10% of supermodels are in fact genetically male. And so then this person mentioned something, well, some company or something put something on their bathroom doors that you can only enter if you are your gender at birth. And I just started laughing my ass off. I was like,
Christ.
okay, first of all,
Yeah,
if they say
literally.
they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And so, being the good autistic person that I am, what did I do? I info dumped. Oh boy.
Good for you.
Finally, I started explaining things to him, particularly this. I says, trans people don't want to be trans. This isn't something that they just decided one day. This is a lifelong process and a lifelong struggle. They would much rather actually just have been born the sex that they are.
Like literally, my life would have been so much easier.
Transitioning is just trying to get the outside to match, to get other people see me the way I always was.
Yeah, the outside to match the inside, exactly.
That's interesting.
So eventually, by this time, my wife is slapping on the leg and said, "Okay." And at this point in time, I realized that, well, I wasn't mean. I wasn't very, I guess, politically correct either. So I actually had to apologize for being a little bit too aggressive. But that's when I realized it's literally this group of people, how much influence and how much they've taught me, how much you guys have taught me. And I'm very, very grateful for that. Very, very grateful for that. And I just didn't realize how invested I was in my people, my friends. So,
well, if it wasn't for Diana and especially Jenny Morgan, who was here earlier, I would have not been able to do this. I wouldn't have believed I could still do it at my age.
Oh, Purple, how old are you?
I turned 58 in July.
You can do it at any age.
Yep.
Yeah, it's never too late. I transitioned at 46.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing that that Diana was rather late too, and now since then I have encountered a couple of other people who have done it in their 50s.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Yeah, there you go.
People ask
50
me,
exactly.
People ask me, when did you come out? And I answer, well, depends on what you mean. I mean, I told my mom I was a girl when I was 3.5. So I suppose that's when I came out. Yeah.
Well, not about the trans thing, but that's always what I said about being bisexual.
Yeah.
People would ask when I was coming out, and I'd just say I was never in. Anyone who didn't notice just wasn't paying attention.
So it's just really curious. It's just it's like when you're raised, and this is something I've observed over the course of time. It's like what was wonderful to me as a grown up trans kid, it was the growing acceptance of children who could express their gender identity and the growing willingness of parents to believe it.
Yeah.
And the growing acceptance of medical professionals and the psychological professionals.
Yep.
To believe children. And it's been so disappointing to see the pushback on that. It's to me, the current circumstances for trans people socially are far more positive.
Oh, well, and
socially far more positive.
That's why I didn't come out in 2001.
Politically,
I was scared.
But politically,
Yeah.
far more fraught. And that's the struggle that we face. And people talk about a trans agenda. No, we don't have an agenda. The people that are opposing us have an agenda.
Yeah,
I think there
if
is an
trans
agenda
people
there.
have
I'm
an
going to argue.
agenda,
Socially, there's been tremendous progress since 1950 fucking
Yep.
7.
No, I think
When
there really
I
isn't.
first told my mother that I was a girl, today, if someone did that, there are far more moms and dads that would say, "Okay, let's talk about this."
Oh hell yeah!
Right?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Back in my day, no, that wasn't even possible. That discussion was off the fucking table. But the difference is that the current political climate is such that these discussions are part of a broader discourse that is driven by an ideology that isn't coming from trans people or queer people or anybody else. It's coming from the right wing that's just desperate to find a way to drive their agenda. I don't have an agenda. Other people have agendas. And they happen to be focused. They happen to be focused on me. And that pisses me off.
Okay, Jyuni was trying to say something. She
I
hasn't
saw
said
that.
very much.
Yeah, no, they always think that we're after their, after people's children, but no, it's not even that. We just want people to be more, like people in general, to be more aware that we exist.
Yeah.
And that,
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think the secret agenda is accept me for who I am.
Yeah.
God forbid.
Yeah, most trans people just want to blend in and have no one notice.
Yeah, I noticed.
Please.
I noticed the narrative is, oh, you're just a bunch of sexual deviants who get off having some fetish of wearing women's clothes. And that's such bullshit.
Well,
Actually,
I am a
that came
sexual
up.
deviant, but the women's clothes has nothing to do with that.
Actually, this came up about this predatory type of bolt BS out there, and I was like, look it up. Trans people literally look at the statistics. They don't rape anyone. It just doesn't happen. They are not sexual offenders, and you can see this in the statistics. It just doesn't happen.
Aren't they more likely to actually be the victims of sexual assault?
How many trans people are there abuse cases against? Versus how many priests are there abuse cases against?
Oh my God, thousands probably. Who knows? Who knows? They're trying to cover it up because the Catholic Church is the richest entity in the world.
Well,
so
and it's not just the Catholic Church, though. It's a bunch of denominations that are having the same issues with the priests.
Oh yeah, I know, but I'm just saying for the Catholic Church, that's why you don't hear about it as much as I believe that it's going on. Yeah,
the Mormons are in hot water right now too. It's like,
and in Australia, they were threatening to revoke the JW's tax exempt status if they didn't start cooperating with the investigations.
Good. Okay, so I was getting to that whole thing what I just mentioned earlier was basically the narrative I kept getting. And I asked the people, all right, do you want this person in the woman's bathroom? I'll pull up the image here.
You don't want me in the men's bathroom. Try that. I'm not very skilled at using a urinal at this point.
This guy is a transgender bodybuilder. I was asking.
I've seen him.
I put that picture up and like, do you want this guy in the women's bathroom? And the conversation just went quiet.
Yeah.
Well,
I, honestly, just looking at his face, I can't imagine him ever being feminine.
Yeah, I mean,
he totally would pass even without the muscles. I mean,
Well,
he
since
doesn't
my
make that
boobs
kinda
have
wanna
much.
touch
started
him.
coming in, I've been very tempted just to troll all the turfs by walking around shirtless until the government gets some gender markers changed on all my ID.
And be like, nope, they won't change it. I don't have to wear a shirt.
I know. I was thinking the same thing too. Uh, like if they have a problem with me, like walking around without my shirt is like, what? You have a problem with boobs? I thought like only men can walk around like this.
Yep.
Right. Exactly.
Well, I mean, to be honest, there've been topless beaches everywhere.
And I think San Francisco, as long as you're over the age of 18,
Yeah,
you can do whatever.
I really
mean,
don't
it's just
understand where the obsession about nipples came from in our society.
I've
In
always
New-
wanted to.
Birth.
I've always
In
wanted
New
to
York-
post like a
Well,
big breast, but with a Photoshop a man's nipple on it.
I bet
just
you that
watch all
looks
the
weird.
people freak out about how bad it
This is not confirmed, but in New York City, you're allowed to walk around without a shirt on and without pants on as long as you are wearing a thong.
I think I've heard that.
In Columbus, Ohio, you do not have to wear a shirt.
yeah, I know
They
there
were
are.
for everybody
Really?
to be shirtless.
There's
Yep.
a half dozen cities across the country
Wow,
that
that's
it has
'cause
been
the
decided that
United
forcing
States.
women to wear shirts if men don't have to is, discrimination.
Sexist.
Look, there are plenty of people that were born female and identify female that are very, very like flat chested, and literally it doesn't matter. Like if they
Indeed.
wanted to walk around without a shirt and they have that, any of them have a brave enough to do that, go right ahead. I mean, of course I would
Yep.
look, but that's not
Well,
the point. I'm not doing it saying that for
it's-
myself, but if that's what makes them happy and they're, do it then.
Fact.
Fucking do it.
Back
I'm
is
too
just
just for it.
misogyny.
I can't
It's just it's simple misogyny. It's ridiculous. There's so much of the stuff that's rooted in misogyny, and the huge example of that is the erasure of trans guys. It's like, it's ridiculous. It's like,
Yeah, in the
Yes.
discussions, they rarely mention trans men at all.
Yeah, you notice that, don't you?
Ben and I noticed that.
yeah, I imagine you do. I mean, it's
That's why
just-
we were doing that Monday night show for a while, although it just fizzled out. But that's why we were doing it, because we were trying to get people to, like, we wanted a platform.
I mean, on the
I felt I learned a lot
Colin
from your
show,
show.
on Transatlantic Colin show that Ben and I did a week ago. It's like this one dude was, please talk to the issue of sports and trans people and blah blah blah. And it's never about trans guys in sports. It's never about indeed in the history.
Until they win.
Well, it's
Yep.
never about trans people at all until they win.
Yep.
I know.
Right.
Because that
But if
cishet motherfucker cannot handle that shit.
Well,
But
except
if Chris Mosier did something in track and field, actually, well, he did make a national team, which is cool.
Okay.
I mean, he made a national team. Was that made a big deal? No. Because it's a dude. He made the national team in his sport.
Mhm.
There's never been any qualifications. Anyone under the Olympic protocols from 2004 until this past November, and still even today, there are no qualifications. Anybody who wants to compete in the men's category can do so with no questions whatsoever.
That's interesting.
The only restrictions have been in the women's category, and the only people in the Olympic Games who have ever been disqualified cisgender females.
I didn't really know that about the men's category. That's interesting.
Interesting.
The men's category is open. You can compete as a guy, regardless of your hormone levels or your assignment at birth. You can compete in the men's category regardless.
You know, that's because they think that because the person was born female that they're going to be weaker and can't beat them.
Of course.
Yep.
And the reason it's the other way is because they are afraid that someone born male. Although I'm going to tell you what, the people I have met that in person IRL who are trans to female, you know, trans women, they've all been very thin and very feminine anyways. And it's not like everyone I've met, I've been like, how did anybody classify you as a guy? They just were all like, I don't know how to describe it.
Oh no, I've
You know what
known
I
some
mean.
who've been, you know, thicker bodies, heavy set.
Yeah, but I'm just saying all the ones I met around here, that's how all of them
humans
are.
Are different. Humans
Mm-hmm.
span the thing. But specifically when it comes to sports, it's so hypocritical.
Yeah.
And you know, the what you wind up seeing, you
Nice
know,
soft girl.
in so many cases, there's this pejorative, well, extraordinary, she's great, she's kicking ass, she's not really a girl. I mean, I've heard guys say that in my sport, which is really alpha male dominated.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, well, yeah, Betsy won, but she's not really a girl. And it's like, come on.
Do people understand?
She's more fucking skilled than you are, and she knows how to run she knows how to run a sailboat, and she's gonna kick your rudder. And it's too bad that your fucking male ego can't stand up to it. Like, get over it.
I'm just looking up thing. In 2017, Mac Beggs, a teenager from Texas, was required to wrestle against girls throughout the season, and as his transition from female to male up through the state championship. And despite wanting to wrestle against boys, this was due to a state sport regulation requiring athletes to compete along athletes of their assigned sex.
Yeah,
and
but
Mac,
you know what's the class?
And Mac Biggs was a poster child for the don't let guys compete against girls. He was the poster child, but he was forced to compete against girls, even though he was a dude. He wanted to wrestle dudes.
Kind of goes against the narrative a little, doesn't it?
You know, what people don't understand is the effect of testosterone and estrogen on the body. So when you're a guy and you have that typical, you know, I'm muscly here, I'm a little chunky there, whatever. When you start taking estrogen, you lose muscle mass, you lose strength. And so those people that are on estrogen for years, they have to work hard as fuck to look like that. Like, seriously. They have to bust their ass because they're taking estrogen, they're fighting it. So, you know, it's easier, and it's also easier for a woman, someone born female, to be stronger later by taking testosterone. You know, if I went to the gym, I'd be huge because I'm taking testosterone, you know what I mean? So it's and then it's just more about the strength training, but the bulk is fucking easy, you know. But the point is that the hormones over a period of time, how long, I don't fucking personally know. You'll have to ask Stephanie about that. But because I haven't even been on him a year yet. But over a couple of years, we'll get to the point where you reach that level of the gender that you feel like you are or whatever. And it changes. Your body changes a lot. Your fat redistributes and like all this stuff happens, you know. It's not like that person who was born a guy by accident is going to be a guy after 3 years of estrogen. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I have a friend who started taking estrogen, not for transition reasons, but for other reasons, which I won't get into.
Right.
But
it's often administered for prostate cancer and stuff.
But they noticed they lost quite a bit of their upper body strength.
Upper body strength goes away. There are a number of things that cross-sex hormones do, like, you know, in both directions. One of the starkest things that happens, and this is, you know, nobody disputes this, is that within 6 months of the administration of cross-sex hormones, males who are being administered estrogen, even without testosterone suppression, have their hematocrit levels within 6 months reduced to typical female levels, which means your bloodstream does not have the same capacity of carrying oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless of frame, you know, specifically when you're talking about swimmers, right, like Leah Thomas, and if you're talking about sports that require a fair amount of oxygen getting to your muscles, right?
Sprinting.
If you're going to, or sprinters, you're going to have a significant disadvantage in carrying a larger frame, assuming that you're going to make the argument that, whoa, well, you know, you have a larger skeletal frame. It's like you're trying to ask this Mack truck to operate on less fuel. You know, it's a complicated question.
Well, actually, less power, like no turbo. Take away the turbo out of a tractor trailer. See how far you get.
See how far you get. That's the thing. And it's like, you know, it's a complicated question that people just want to break down to very simplistic places that don't fit. That don't fit the realities of the situation.
Nope. They have no idea, and they don't bother to research it either. They look at Facebook, and some idiot that's a Trumper says something, and they go, "Oh, that must be true," and then that's it. You know, they're just. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people in this world that are so easily swayed. They are wagon jumpers. They'll go from one to another without even missing a beat. And they're confused, and I feel like a lot of them don't even know who they are, so they don't know what the fuck, you know. I think they're just like fucking confused, and they need a crutch, and because they don't know what to do with their fucking life they have. And you know, we've all been there, but some of us see our way into science and skepticism and see past it.
Well,
that's the difference. But
they're just
but the people, oh my god, it's like some of them are so dense they just don't even realize what they're doing. They're so uneducated, they have no idea. I mean, I literally have to get like a small army to go out to the country with me and talk to those people, and so I wouldn't get killed, so I can open some fucking brains. Like, that's what it would take. You can't just go out there and do that and try to reach those people.
I think that's why I went off the other night, because it just so annoyed me.
You're maybe Muggsy Bogues size, right? You know, are you going to get into a slam dunk competition? I mean, I don't know. It's like, no.
You don't know what my vertical is, young lady.
I don't. I honestly don't. Maybe it is Muggsy Bogues style.
When I play basketball in high school,
you're never gonna get questioned the same way I will, and and it's bizarre. You know, it's just weird.
Oh no, I totally agree with you. It is weird.
You know,
like I was just telling somebody how much stuff has changed with me, Steph. Like the people are letting me in front of them in line at the grocery store and going, "Oh, you go ahead, sir." And I'm like, "Oh no," and it's like an older guy usually, and it doesn't matter what color, like some Mexican, some Hispanic descent, some white, and they're like, "Oh no, I'm not in a hurry, and you only have a few things. You go ahead." "Oh, well, thank you, sir." "Hey, no problem, sir." And that's how it is. They're just like, I don't know. I've got a little facial hair, and all of a sudden, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like my white male privilege card came in the mail. I had to chop it up and throw it out because I didn't want it. Fuck, man.
They keep sending it.
It's
Okay,
like
people,
I
hate to do this.
Like I transitioned like 20 years ago, or it's like and it's like all my
I think Purple
cis girlfriends are going,
shut things
you
down.
know what
Purple's
you're
trying to
signing
end
up
this.
for, right?
Yeah, I hate
Yeah.
to do this, but I'm going
Well-
to have to end this very suddenly.
Can I finish my? Okay, go ahead.
I'm dealing with some sudden pains, and
Oh,
I know
no.
what it is, and I'll
Oh,
be
of
fine
course.
tomorrow. But I just can't keep sitting up.
Okay, sweetheart.
Okay,
Shut things
Feel
down.
better,
better.
Purple.
Okay, so you know,
Okay, hon.
thank you all for being with us tonight. But
Thanks,
we
Doc.
have to go. Bye bye.
Bye
Good night, everybody.